Hey, greetings, social change warriors. Welcome to our first ever, soon to be monthly spa night, where we are going to relax, chill out, listen to my grandpuppy bark a little bit because he wants to come in and I'm not letting him. He may still bark. I don't know. I'll find it out because that won't be very relaxing. But we are going to chill out tonight, relax. We're waiting for everybody to come in from Sean had a live tonight and it was fantastic. It was with members of Canton Society, community, the movement. It was really good. If you missed it, please catch it on the replay. It was just super. Rita's back. It was great to see her again. The Sweeneys were there. Who else was there? Amber, the Sweeneys, and I think John.
John, I always say it right. I say Como, but it's Como, like like the way you put the
Yeah.
enunciation on it. Yeah, I loved seeing Brenda Sweeney too because she's not there. Whitey was there. In the chat we had Peter Murphy, so free Peter Murphy because he's getting
Oh,
harassed
yeah.
now too in Canton.
Right,
It's
right.
it's crazy right now.
It's
So
crazy town
it
in
was
Clown
so
Town,
good to see them all.
as Colleen calls it, right? She calls it Clown Town.
It is. I'm surprised that the cop cars aren't really clown cars and they all there's like 20 of them come out, every time there's a
Yeah.
rubber ducky.
Exactly. Hey, welcome to the chat, Jessica. Hey, we got our first man robe wearer.
Listen,
What kind of PJs you wearing, Nick? Nick is here from
listen.
Australia, our first guy
Men
of
need
the night.
pampering too. Men need
Awesome.
pampering too.
Hey, DB, thanks for making it. Um, I am going to put a link to the green room. So if any of you want to come up and show us your beauty secret or show us I'm wearing my blue fluffy robe that I actually borrowed from my mother. If she's watching, thank you, Mom. I love this blue fluffy robe. And no, I'm not bringing it back to Wisconsin. It's staying with me in Florida. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, not sorry. Hi, Deidre. Thank you. Welcome back to the cold. I know you're up north again. You were in Cali. So let me let Amber chit chat with y'all a minute. I'm gonna go put the link. Actually, it is in the chat box. I'm gonna copy it down lower. It's way up at the top where Julie, craziest person on earth, and I were chatting earlier. So let me copy it down. So if anybody wants to come on the platform, we can have up to 10 guests on our platform. So if you want to come up and show us your mask, your beauty secret, your eye calming gel, I have a whole bunch of products I'm going to show you in between our fun music and videos so I don't get a strike tonight. So I have some fun music we can clap and dance to. And so we don't get a strike, we have to make it educational and purposeful. So we will do that. And let's see, where is my tab here? Welcome, everybody. Reed. You are a girl of my heart. I love my books. I'm on a new murder book now. You and I need to chat. It's so good. Nick is our lone man in the chat right now. There's Julie. Hey, Julie.
Come on,
That's
man.
so
Let's
beautiful and
go.
relaxed, people. Julie, you need to type in again what you typed to me earlier, that you were setting your infusion treatment on. I want you to see it because it's your words and it's funny as heck. So, okay. Oh, Merlot is here. Okay, I'm going back up. There she is, Merlot 1958. What a year. That's the year that my dad's high school and my high school won the only state high school basketball championship for Madison East Pergolders in Wisconsin. Was my dad's junior year on the greatest team ever for Madison East. And anybody who knows me knows I'm a geek. And that was this 1958 championship. I love the year 1958. All right, now where's that darn link, Amber? I know I shared it way earlier.
Wait, which link are you looking for?
I'm trying to find where I shared the link for the green room. So whoever wants to come on and show us their robes and
I think can I share if I copy and paste it? Will I share? Will it go through?
Yes, thank you. That would be awesome.
Okay,
So Reality Check said, hey, that was at 3 this afternoon. Then of course I chimed in, good vibes only. That is what my pillow says because I am live streaming from my room tonight because my room is peace and serenityville because I need that for my chronic pain. So I have my ocean photo back there. I've got my ocean wall hanging here. My pillow says good vibes only. Then I've got the relaxed pillows that I got when I moved here down here to Florida. So this is the relaxation spa area. So we will get that. We want anybody who wants to come up and share their beauty secret and say hi to feel free to come on the platform tonight. All you have to do is click this link, and then that'll bring you down below into this little green room area, and then I can bring you up on stage with Amber and I. We can have up to 10 at a time. So we're just waiting for a few minutes because I did say we were going to go at 8:30 and we started a little bit early. I'm waiting for people to come over from Sean and
Papa Sean.
Aha, I found it there. Papa Sean. Yeah. And it was a great show. So I hope you'll all watch it and replay if you didn't catch it live. But there is the link to come on stage with us, to come in the green room. And we would just love to have you, love to hear what you have to say about your beauty treatments and how you relax. Jessica's here. She says, whoop, whoop. Let me grab my face mask.
Jessica.
Cool, because I'm about to put mine on here in a second. And oh, yes. Thank you, Jessica. It was Whitey, Eric, John, Sweeney's, Rita, and Gary, and Sean. That was just a great, great show. What a positive way to start 2025. We've got Nick here right now, our lone dude. Nick, I want to know in the chat box what he got on for jammies. What you wearing for jammies here?
Real men wear pink. I love it.
And we got Merlot and DB in the chat. Awesome.
Merlot,
and of course, Amber is here with me. Reed is here. We're going to talk books because I'm on a new murder mystery right now that I just love. Oh, reality check. Oh, good. She made it. PJ's not allowed at work. More the pity.
PJs are allowed at my work. Let me just say.
That is good.
I work from home, so I can wear whatever I want.
Jessica kisses Amber. Deidre, hey at Amber. Julie, craziest person. And I want to know if she typed that in yet about her infusion and what level she was setting that at. Let's get beautiful and relaxed, people. Hey, thanks for joining us, everyone. Hey, Jerry Harris. Hello. Nice to meet
Jerry.
you. So happy to have you. Aunt BB2. Oh, it's great to see you. I've seen you in many chats. Hi, everyone coming from, oh, yes, Sean on the Gulf. We're so happy you're here. Welcome to Social Change Warriors. We are happy to have anyone and everyone that supports justice, justice seekers, social change warriors, anyone looking to stomp out crime and corruption in their communities. Everyone is welcome here. Okay, here we go, Nick. My wife gifted me an ASAP? Is that how it's pronounced? ASAP? I've never heard of that, Nick.
I don't know.
Set of body balm, moisturizer, exfoliant, face mask, etc. She was very excited, so I'm assuming I'll be looking like Brad Pitt by February.
So I hope he has them already. Let's go.
Yeah, Nick, you are all good. You don't need to look like Brad Pitt. You are a handsome Australian, and man, your wife is one lucky girl. And I know she feels the same as well. Both of you feel the same. I know you do too. Let's see here. Jerry H. Auntie BB2 is saying hey to Jerry H. Reality check. And reality check. Let's see here. Going down the list. There's Deidre. I'd like to do a tutorial with my 6-year-old great niece. I'm still in California. Oh, she's still in California. That's awesome.
Oh,
she's going to
night. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. So I'm so glad you joined us, and it would be awesome to see you and your grandniece. If you want to come on the stage, just grab that link that I shared up there. Did we repost it to Amber?
Probably not. Let me work on that.
Come on, otherwise, it's way up at the top. I mean, I could keep going back up to find it, but I want to keep putting it in so people.
Do you remember the movie, like The Babysitter's Dead or something like that with Christina Applegate?
Hi. Oh yeah, that's a good
beauty.
One. Isn't she beautiful?
Love that.
Hi,
hair.
Deirdre. Wow, you're muted. There she is. Hi, welcome.
Oh, it's going in and out, going in and out.
Hello, welcome to Spa Night. Yeah.
Are you getting hampered tonight?
Okay, wait, I can hear you. You're kind of coming in and out.
Let me check. Hold on. Let me see if I'm on.
Make sure you're on Wi-Fi or something. The internet's probably a little sketchy right now. She'll be back.
Might be a little slow. I've got to okay, she'll be back. I'm going to just play a quick song for you guys while she is actually that's Sean. We're going to show a little bit of his live here in a minute. I'm just going to play a quick little bit of a music for you guys for 30 seconds and then we'll be right back. Let me know if you can hear it, Amber.
I can hear it. I can see it. Oh no, it went out again.
Uh-oh. Went out?
Turn it down a little. Turn it down a notch and see if that works. Now I can hear it.
Looking in your eyes, I see paradise. This world that I found is too
This is like my favorite movie. Kim Cattrall.
I love it.
As a kid, really, it was. I watched
in my heart, and I'm feeling
Let them see we're crazy.
This is my favorite part.
I don't care about that. Put your hand in my hand, baby. Don't ever look back.
Here you go.
Let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it.
Get it
Heart to heart. And we can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's gonna stop us now.
Oh my god, that hair.
This world runs out of lovers. We'll still
These hairs are bad.
nothing's gonna stop us. Nothing's gonna stop us.
Can't hear you, my darling.
to the face and fading light. Oh, we were bound to get together, bound to get together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on
I'm gonna get started.
She said, shut up and this woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. A backless dress and some beat-up sneaks. My discotheque, Juliet, teenage dream. I felt it in my chest as she looked at me. I knew we were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arm, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor and she said, oh, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said, you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me.
Am I doing this right? I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing this right? Somebody's laughing. Kat, I think you're muted, my darling.
I see my Mary and
What are you? I can't see her. What's she doing? What's that little cutie pie doing?
We're being silly. Shower cap on.
I want to see. Kat, take the chat off the screen so I can see. I don't think Kat can hear us.
Let them see we're crazy. What do they know? Put your arms around me, baby. Don't ever let the world around us just fall apart. Baby, we can make it if we're apart. And we can build this thing together. Standing strong forever. Nothing's
We need a
gonna
lighter.
stop us now. And if this world runs out of lovers, we'll still have each other. Nothing's gonna stop us.
OMG. John is in the chat.
Uh-oh.
John, get your butt up here and your hairy chest too. Let's go. I told him real men and person needs some love too.
Oh, shoot. Well, this is going to be good. So I have to do my PSA since we danced it out a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed that. So I just had a recent relationship not work out. So
Yeah, men suck.
I needed some positive reinforcement that there is still hope, that there is still hope out there. And those of you that are married and have good men in your life, I'm so happy for you. And I know that all those of us that are single, we just have to keep trying, stay in the fight, put on our masks, take care of ourselves in the meantime, and we will be okay. So we played the Dance It Out music as part of our self-care tonight because we want to boo, Shauna says. John says, I'm watching. John, we want to see you. Come on, mama, just for a minute. We are going to pledge self-care for once a week tonight. Everybody who's here in the chat and whoever watches on replay, please take the pledge that you will self-care once per week. And if that means putting on your favorite music and dancing and that's your self-care, great, because it will work. It will help you. If that means running or riding a bike or going to the pool for a swim or going for a coffee with yourself or with a friend, whatever it looks like to you, that self-care, there's no rule book for this, guys. Of course, they make journal articles, and as a social worker, and because I just played a bunch of music that I don't want to get a strike for, I have to teach you something tonight. So what I want to teach you is that self-care looks the way it looks for you. So whatever that means, whatever you do, just commit to doing it once a week and make sure you do it. I'm on a live stream, bud. Can't talk now.
Wait, I have a really good idea. Okay. I just thought of something, and my ADHD brain is going to forget it in 2 seconds if I don't interject.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead.
So they're raising a ton of money for Karen Reed, right now, like Auntie Deb and all of them, and it's amazing. So Auntie Deb's going to be getting a perm from Nikki Haircuts. I don't know if you know that. He doesn't know how to do perms. But Mr. John, I have an idea. What if we raised money to wax your chest hair?
Oh boy, Amber, I knew this was going to go dark quick. I just knew it. I had a feeling. Okay, let's get back to the lesson. Like all the children, just it's real quick lesson so we can keep playing music and not get a strike. So
wait, John needs the link. I gotta give him the link. Hold on, John. I'll get you the link.
So please get enough sleep. Eat healthy if and when you can. And if that means a chocolate brownie once a week, please do it. Exercise when and if you can. Take a walk. That is good. And you can always do that. Even with my new healing knee, I've been taking walks. And please drink water. I always tell my family and friends, water is huge.
Oh my God,
get
you've done it
yourself
before.
a water bottle. I have my own water bottle here. Please get yourself a water bottle. I know people look at me and say, oh, no, I'm not carrying that around. But you must, because it makes a huge difference. If you get a water bottle, you'll keep track of it. And Amber has gifted me this water bottle. She loaned it to me, but now it's turned into a gift. So
you stole that too from Wisconsin?
Yes,
the robe and the water bottle. Oh,
I took your water bottle. There's plenty. It says plenty on it, and so we appreciate it greatly, Amber, that we got to use your water bottle. We truly did.
You're welcome. Listen, I paid it forward because somebody gave it to me brand new. So
well, that's what you said. So it says
what? That's what we do.
This is its little plenty. And then on the back, it lists all the ways. So it says bonus, drink up, don't stop now. You're almost there. I can't tell you enough that there is research beyond research about dehydration, and especially women. It affects our skin. And Amber and I are no makeup zone tonight. No makeup. Hair has not been washed today.
This is called, being a middle-aged woman without any injections or fillers.
That's right.
Nothing. Right. So listen, we're beautiful. God made us gorgeous, every single one of us.
That's right.
He has designed us perfectly for his purposes. I'm sorry, I'm going to go into a preach.
I
can't help it. I can't help it.
We have to preach a little so we can keep playing music and videos tonight. We have to. So
you have to listen.
We do not want to get a strike from YouTube for playing content. It's called fair use, people. And as long as I teach you something and the music relates to what I'm teaching you, I can use it. So the songs I played had to do with my recent relationship not working out, and that's the way it goes. Sometimes they just don't work out. It's no fault of anyone. It just wasn't meant to be. But it is sad when things stop going, because you get used to that person. You get used to talking to them every day and seeing them when you can, and and then they're suddenly gone, and it's just weird. So you have to have that moment where we're going to talk about this in my January 5th. Amber and I, we're going to do, I'm entering into this new phase where I'm trying to finish my book that I started like 20 years ago. So we're going to sneak in a little extra live show once a month. And sorry to all my favorite boys in the chat, but it is called Men Are Dumb. And it's most men are dumb, not John, not Nick, not any of your
the
husbands.
Sweeneys,
just the ones
not
that
Papa
I've dated.
Sean.
Just the ones I've dated, guys. That's it. I have the worst picker in the world. So on the 15th will be our first episode of Men Are Dumb, where you're all going to help me finish my book, because I need motivation. I need some more stories other than just my own.
Do they get writer's credits? I want to know.
Yes, you all will be mentioned in the book if I use one of your stories. Absolutely, no doubt.
Awesome.
I'll send you guys a disclaimer. I'll send you something to sign. We will not be using anyone's names. We will be using their occupations. So, like for my instance, back in the day when I dated a firefighter, I'm going to tell you the story about him, and I'm going to call him the firefighter. And if he figures out who he is, that's not my problem. But no one else will know who he is.
So it won't be like Baby Reindeer where you can kind of figure out who the person is and the true story. Right. Okay. Just making sure.
Absolutely. So Amber is putting on, Amber, what are you putting on? Tell us what this is all about.
This is amazing. This was a gift from my mother. Oh, this is why they do. This is why they do this, I think.
Yeah, it's hard to see it.
So it's called Kiehl's since 1851 Rare Earth Deep Pore Cleansing Mask. It has white clay from the Amazon.
Oh, cool.
I don't know why that makes it better, but it intensely purifies to minimize pores, thoroughly cleanses them, and gets that oil out of your skin.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so good stuff. I'm supposed to be really good. And my mom.
I love it. Hey, type the name of it in the chat box, and then we'll send like a tweet out to the company. I mean, we're not getting paid to do any of this, but we'll let them know that we shared their product. That never hurts to do that. If we're going to share someone's product, we might as well let them know, right? Auntie time will speed up. Marcus and I have been married 25 years and together 30. Congratulations, Jerry! Yay! She met one of the good ones. She met one of the 20%, as I call them. So happy for you. That's fantastic. And I could be wrong on that, but in my experience, there's 20%. And Nick and John, you are obviously one of those 20%. So that's just awesome. Congratulations. So does anybody want to come on stage with us now? Deidre, what was that little item your great niece was holding up a few minutes ago?
Tell them what it is.
It is called Lip Stain, Super Stay 24 color.
Oh, that sounds beautiful. What color is it?
Kind of like a dark pink.
Beautiful. That sounds wonderful. That must look great on you, and I bet on your great aunt it looks really good on Deidre too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell her what.
Oh my goodness, look at Amber. Look what we got going on. And she's got these really funky glasses. Okay, now she's going to make me do my mask. I'm going to have to change robes because I want to put my nice blue robe back on that my mother loaned it to me. I will put the purple robe on. First, I'll show you my t-shirt today. My jammy t-shirt says beach vibes on it because I am back in Florida for at least 6 weeks.
Yeah. Stop bragging.
Trying to warm up, but it's going to be very cold here tomorrow. So anyone else who's in Florida with me on replay, we are going to only be in the 50s tomorrow when I go.
Only the 50s.
Yeah, but
feels like -10 here.
50s is cold. I know, -10, it's all relative. When you come down here and you're used to it being 60, 70, 80, when it goes down to 50, you freeze, and everybody down here freezes, and they put on their coats and their sweaters and all their stuff. So if anybody has a beauty product that they like or want to use, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm going to put on this mask. So hang on, let me I took a picture of it so you could write it down if you wanted to. So we'll come back to this music in a little while.
Can I say something about the water that you were talking about? I read this book that was called You Are Not Sick, You're Thirsty. And it was talking about all of the things that if you are dehydrated, that you don't feel well, or you're going to think you have these symptoms of some sort of condition that you don't really have, and about the benefits of making sure you're fully hydrated. Because at the point where you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated.
Oh,
That's
right.
the start of it. So
That's
you know,
absolutely the truth. And dehydration is really bad. It can make you feel dizzy. It can make you nauseous. You can get a headache, all kinds of things. You might think it's something else, but it's probably just that you're not drinking enough water. So anyway, I wanted to say, Julie, yes, it is poor cat. It's 50 here in Florida, but poor cat was just in Wisconsin for 6 weeks, freezing to death. So you guys know I had COVID in rehab and oh my God. So yes, I deserved my one day where it was 70 today, and it will feel considerably colder tomorrow.
oh, Reed's is in the green room.
Oh, very nice. Let's see here. Who is in the green room? All right. Add to stage.
I love Reed's posts on X.
Yes, they're fantastic. Okay. Did I get her up on the stage? Are you here?
Hi, can you hear me?
Awesome. Yes. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
I will get your pretty face up here in 2 seconds. I just have to do my little PSA here for a minute. So guys, this is coffee scrub. This is the bomb. If you've never tried it for your spa nights, you have to get it. It's the coffeescrub.com. I'll type in the chat box. It is so awesome. It makes your body feel, it takes off all of the bad, like nasty dead skin. It makes you feel wonderful. Yes, John is here. He's our hero for showing up. Nick is here from Australia, our two cool dudes in the chat. I'm going to put this on here for you guys. And while I do that, let's have you introduce yourself to everybody, Marie. She's still with us?
No, I don't know. Can you
Oh, she's muted. Okay,
can you
I'm
take the chat
unmuting you.
down and put everybody up so that we can see them?
Yeah, I'm going to in 2 seconds.
Okay.
The other one I wanted to show you guys real quick is this one. It's the Tree Hut. And guys, I'm not getting paid to show these. These are just this is just my stuff that I love. This is called the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub. This thing is great. I keep it right by my sink and I use it when I wash my hands, and it smells so freaking good too. It's just like a little spa minute every time you use the ladies. You scrub some of this on your hands a couple different times during the day. This one's called Moroccan Rose, and it smells heavenly. It's just like a minute where I started doing this at a local restaurant. They put this in their bathroom, and every time I go eat there, and I'd be like, this is kind of like having a mini spa moment that I would have never expected at a restaurant. So I went and got some for myself. So that's just two of the things I wanted to show you. And let me go back to that now, and there we are. Now we've got Marie back up.
Kat, we need to say goodbye. Dinner's ready.
Dinner's ready. Okay,
Oh, no.
Deidre, and I forgot, what's your little niece's name? Your great niece?
Emma.
Emma. Thank you
Hi,
so much, Emma.
Thank you for
Thank you.
joining.
Yes, thank you for coming. We so appreciated your beauty tip. I'm going to have to look into that really pretty lip gloss that you shared with us. Thank you so much.
It'll make me as pretty as you. I'm definitely using it.
Absolutely.
It doesn't come off for 24 hours, so you don't get it on glasses or boyfriends and husbands and stuff.
Well, isn't that nice? If I ever get a boyfriend again, I'll keep that in mind. And you don't get a
So
boyfriend
no more
yet, Missy.
excuses that my husband can't kiss me, right?
And Missy, you don't get a boyfriend yet. You're too young. You just have friends for now, right?
Yeah, you can't have a boirfriend till you're like 36.
When you're like 16, maybe great auntie
No.
will let you have a boyfriend.
36.
36. Okay, Marie said she got bumped. Let's try it again, Marie, and I will make sure you stay in with us.
Oh yeah, Nick
back in
Francis
now.
is bragging about his 83
Who's
degrees and sunny in Queensland, Australia. Lucky you.
You're up on Marie. You're back. Hey, Shauna. Deirdre, so nice to have a face-to-face. Yes, wasn't it great to have a face-to-face with Deirdre and her great niece, Emma? That was fantastic. Okay, you are on stage now.
Just make sure you're not on mute. Make sure you're unmuted.
Yeah, she's unmuted, and you're on the stage now, Reed, Maria. You should be okay to talk because I unmuted you. Try again. Oh, here she comes.
Technology does not like us. We get double you. It's like double the trouble.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear
Oh
you.
my
Hi.
gosh, I got bumped out like 3 times.
It happens sometimes with technology.
I'm here. I'm here.
Yay. It's so great to talk to you. I love reading your posts
Oh.
on Twitter X. You have the best posts.
Well,
Yes, ma'am.
I try to be as respectful as I can when I post because I think that's important.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
but I also feel like it's important to be factual and say what we feel we believe our opinions are in
Yes.
their opinions. I'm not saying they're always factual, but I'm saying opinions are important, you know?
Oh,
So,
right. An opinion is people. It's funny you would say that because I was thinking about that today. People confuse opinions and factual statements.
right, right.
An opinion is very different than actual
Oh,
fact.
we're getting feedback.
Oh, well, let
Is
me
it
mute.
it's from me?
I think so. I think it's picking up what you're hearing as well. So
Oh,
if Kat has to talk, maybe just mute for that second.
We'll just have to.
Now Kat muted herself. Boomers, boomer alert.
okay.
Somebody put a
I
boomer
don't
alert in the
really
chat.
have anything background noise, so not sure.
It's good now. No, it's not. Spoke too soon.
What I don't hear anything. What are you hearing?
It's better now. It's sometimes there's just like a echo, kind of.
It might just be interference. Possibly, it happens
Oh.
sometimes when you don't wear a headset.
Julie, craziest person on earth says boomer love, because that's what JFK says.
Boomer love is real. It's great. I love that he says that. I love following JFK.
Me too. I love those guys.
You know what? JFK and James. The interesting thing is, well, you can hear my accent. I'm originally from Mass in the Boston area, obviously, but I live in southern New Hampshire now. But
You guys.
JFK and James are both very respectful, and I appreciate that.
Right, and they're kind, and they make
Yeah,
sure that everybody else is being kind to one another,
right.
and they accept different opinions, and they're just
hmm
kind of fun, at the same
I
time.
mean, I'm always open and willing to accept varying opinions and listen to what people say respectfully. The problem that I have with certain people is the vileness of the rhetoric that I find offensive and inappropriate, and that's where my problem lies. And I've learned that I'm 62 years old. I've lived I've lived a full life. Okay, so
Right.
for me, I will never not speak my mind. If someone I feel is inappropriate or does things or says things that are really offensive to people, I will speak my mind. Now, clearly, we know on X, people get attacked for that. It doesn't matter where you are in the mix of your ideology related to anything. But
Right.
I think it's important that people, are able to feel like they can speak up and have an opinion or speak their mind regarding things that they don't feel they're comfortable with.
We should be able to have, civil discourse with one another and be
Yeah,
respectful,
for
even if we
sure.
disagree, and treat people like people. I don't know why on X some of these people think that they can just treat you like you're dirt. And I mean, they do. You just ignore it because you can't control them.
Well,
But
what I do when people, if I have an opinion, and I know sometimes if I have an opinion and people don't like it, especially if I have opinions about certain people, even though I might agree ideologically with them regarding the Karen Reed case, but if I don't a- agree with the way that they present themselves or find it okay, I find
right,
it offensive. I know that I'm going to get backlash. But with that said, I just take it like, okay, I'm not gonna go to where they go. Some of these people go. I'm gonna
right.
go to the place where, okay, I'll make light of it and I'll say, listen, respect is something that people should have, adults should have amongst one another. We
Yeah.
we need to be acting like a bunch of middle schoolers, which is, happens a lot.
Well, my
And I,
9-year-old acts better than a lot of people, and
no,
sometimes he acts better than me when I'm snarky, to be quite
I,
quite frank.
no, it's true. And I think that unfortunately, we have there's a lot of keyboard warriors out there who think that they can just hide behind their keyboard and say whatever they want. But, it still is not respectful to people in general. I might not agree with, a person's opinion, but that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be respectful to them.
Right, right.
So that's where my problem lies. So, with some of these people on there. And I am, I'm an RN. I've
Well,
seen a
thank
lot,
you.
been hit through a lot of stuff in my life, raised kids. I have you might hear some noise in the background. I have a 25, in my picture, you can see it. My daughter's 25. She's adopted. She's autistic, and she
Oh,
requires
bless your
20.
heart.
No, she's the sweetest thing in the world. Like, she has made my life and my family's life so much more enriched. But
Mm-hmm.
with that said, you know, I try to be more understanding and respectful of people's situation. I think because, having raised a child that has had significant developmental issues, etc., and there's been many instances where people, who, I guess, I think I don't think they're terrible people. I think they're ignorant to
Mm-hmm.
understanding things like that. They've, been not so kind to her. Now, it
Oh.
doesn't make it, but it doesn't make me a bad, be unkind to people. It makes me want to teach people or educate people about things that they don't understand.
And
So,
be the positive change, and help
right,
people to understand what they don't understand, and have, because of what you've been through, you have that empathy for others.
right. And so that brings me to why I love, I'm so happy I found this page, this group, because I think social change warriors kind of encompasses so many things. Not just because it brings light to social justice or the legal system, but it brings light to so many things in so many people's lives.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good
Thanks
thing
for
you're trying
saying
to
that.
do.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Amber. I
No, no,
walked.
go ahead.
Thanks for saying that. I really appreciate that. I've taken some criticism and some heat for what I'm attempting to do. I started
Hmm.
this 5 years ago and started with a lot of social community type issues that had to do with justice for all different kinds of people from different walks of life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we literally ran the gamut. I had a presentation called A to Z, and we literally talked about problems in communities that go from A to Z, and we named one issue or problem from A all the way to Z. And then we started we started recording about them. And I
Hmm.
had different guests come on, and it was very fulfilling, but we weren't really getting noticed. We weren't really able to get into communities the way I had hoped. So then I had some health issues. So I kind of stepped away for a while, and then I realized I need to try again. So I got myself together and said, let's try again. And then I was busy watching a lot of the different trials that were going on when I was doing my downtime recovery from a couple surgeries. And I thought, maybe I should try live streaming. Maybe that's more my venue than pre-recorded. And I'll still do some pre-recordeds because I still think there's an avenue for that. Some guests prefer it. But that's how we got started with live streaming, because I really wanted to do more with calling out corruption and utilize some of my past law enforcement experience, molded it together with my social work. And it's been a
Hmm.
great way to meet people and stand for people that need more people to stand for them. And it's very hard. I know Amber can attest, relate to this, and anybody that's been standing for people. It's Oh, hang on. I've got something weird going on. I don't know what's happening.
There's more of that interference again, but it's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on my side or not. I'm trying to close it off. Um, It's when you stand for someone who's been murdered or a person who's missing, and you're trying to stand for their family, and you're doing your best because you're an outsider. You're not family. You weren't their friend. In most cases, you didn't even know the person, but you seem to feel like you know the person. It's a really interesting feeling when you start standing for someone who can no longer speak for themselves, and you're supporting their families, and you pay attention to what they're going through, and you instill your empathy, and it gives you a lot of power and control. It makes you feel like you can actually make a difference. And sometimes we feel like we just can't, no matter how much something bothers us, or we don't like it, or we want the law to change, we want a policy to change. We just can't. We don't get any satisfaction. We don't feel like we're doing any good. But when you stand for other humans and they actually feel your support, like what's going on with a lot of you that live in Massachusetts, and those of you that were on Sean's show tonight, and you're standing together in your communities and you're doing live standouts, and you really truly are making a difference. And even though it doesn't feel like it, because nobody's getting arrested yet, and Karen Reed is still the one on trial, so it's got to be super frustrating, but you are teaching the youngsters in your community what it means to stand together as a community. I wrote in Sean's chat that it does take a village. That's not just a silly saying. That's not just a meme. It really does take a village. One person cannot do this type of work alone. People that are involved in corruption, it's deep. It has many complicated layers, and they don't want to give up their power. They live on power. People that are willing to break laws, commit murders, unalive someone, they live on power and control. Many of them are narcissists, and we're doing a show about that. I put it out way before Christmas because I feel like there's a lot of narcissism and criminality and crimes, and it's important to know about it so you can look out for it and be on the lookout for someone you may know or work with or date or be married to that has this condition, because it is definitely dangerous at times to be around people that are narcissistic. They're very cunning, they're very clever, and it's just they don't want to relinquish their power. They don't want to give up the power and control that they're on. So they will fight you at all costs. And look what's happened to Rita and some of your neighbors in Canton with these balloons with chemicals on their lawn and other nasty acts happening to them. And that's low level crime, but that can and will escalate, and that's scary, right?
Well, I think what's unfortunate is that I'm 62, and so my kids are in there, with the exception of my daughter, she's 25, but I have two sons that are 37 and 34, and it was a very different, I think, and this is again my opinion, but very different ideology pre social media. I think that social media has exacerbated and ramped up, people that crave that power and control. It's a platform for them to try to gain that.
Right.
And I think that that's really created a lot of the divisiveness that, maybe I'm sure some of it existed before, but I think social media has really made it more difficult. Now, my kids, it's funny, my sons are 37 and 34, and when they were born, they don't really, they can't quite grasp the concept that people didn't have cell phones and they carried them around
Right.
every day.
Right,
Like
right,
they don't like, because that's what they used to, right? Although when they were little, they wouldn't have known that. But cell phones really didn't come. Most people didn't have them till close to 2000, or mid 90s, right? So they, for them, that generation, it's hard for them. I mean, I grew up in a very different generation where, I as a nurse, did home health for a while, and I had a pager, and I'd have to find, if a patient called me during the day, I'd have to go find a payphone to call them.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think that that's really added, because you get these people that are and I call them keyboard warriors that get behind the keyboard. You don't really know who they are because they're not truthful about who they are, and they say whatever they want to say, and some of the things they can say are just so vile and so horrible, that
And if you're not in a point where you're so comfortable in your own skin or
Right.
confident, that can tear somebody down.
Right.
Somebody has
Right.
any type of mental health issues, if the person, just has confidence issues, anything along those lines, it's hard. It's hard being us. Being on this earth is not the easiest thing in the world always.
and it's not always just like, the person getting torn down, but if you have someone that has a platform and they're going after someone, and I'm going to use, God bless her, I pray for her every day. I'm going to use Jen O'Donnell as an example, right? She
Love you,
has
Jen.
tried to be a voice for Canton. Like, her focus was being a voice for Canton, like Rita and some of the other people, okay?
Right.
And you have someone that has a platform, and we know who we're talking about, and they, tear that person down. Then you have all these other people that believe that this person, everything this person says is factual, and they then, jump on the bandwagon. Then you have like 200 people attacking one person. It's
Right. A
horrific.
keyboard warrior mob that
It's
comes
it's
like
a
attack
mob.
dogs. Yeah.
It's horrific,
Yeah.
and it's wrong. And
Well, it's been happening a lot. Maria and Amber knows this too. I mean, it's been going kind of nuts for the past like 4 months. And it's not actually, it's been happening since the beginning with those that believe Karen Reed hit John O'Keefe with their car and those that believe she did it. So those are opinions because none of us were there, and we don't have a lot of clear facts yet. We have enough clear facts, in my opinion, for them to have not convicted her, because unless you have
Definitely
all of
reasonable
the
doubt.
reasonable
there's
doubt
of
removed.
course there's reasonable doubt. Yeah.
Right. There was so much reasonable doubt that she should have never been convicted. But we don't have, like they say, we don't have the smoking gun yet, do we? I mean, we don't have a video. We don't have a confession. We don't have anything that shows us who did it. Nobody's admitting to doing it. We just have Karen Reed saying she didn't do it. And they're trying to prove that she didn't do it because that's what the defense team has to do. This is the case that brought most of us into this room, was following the Karen Reed trial. So we are going to talk about that in the next coming weeks. I stayed away from that for a while. I was mentioning it here and there, and Amber and I've been tweeting about it nonstop since the trial started. And Amber and I have mentioned it here and there, but there were so many content creators covering it. Of course, you all know who they are. And so I didn't want to get in there because I was a brand new channel. No one knew who I was. I didn't want to be accused of coming on just because of the Karen Reed trial, because that's not the case at all. I've started Social Change Warriors 5 years ago. So it was just coincidental that I decided to start live streaming in August. And I wanted to make it about people that I found that needed our help, like Ellen Greenberg in Pennsylvania, who still doesn't have any justice, and
Sarah Ebersol,
and Just En Route, and
Enrique Delgado Garcia.
Yes, Enrique. We haven't done a live about him yet because there were so many being done by the content creators that I just mentioned. So again, I haven't gone there yet, but I would like to, because I feel that I could have some things to say about that, being former law enforcement. So I would like to talk about what happened to him. So yes,
I think that's important because he's kind of fallen off the cliff. Like, not anybody's, it's been, from what I understand, like 120 days.
Right.
And
well, talk about falling off the cliff, Marie. Ellen Greenberg has her death was ruled unaliving by herself in 2011, and it still hasn't been reversed, even though there's mounds and mounds of evidence. So
her parents are just fighting to keep it alive, and not just letting them make it a closed case here. They're going to court. I think they live in Florida.
We're gonna break for a minute, talking about what we're going to talk about in the next coming weeks, because I'm going to put my mask on and I want to tell you guys about it in case you ever want one. It's on the right. It's on the right here. This one here. I was just talking to you about. Let me see if I could get that to come off. So this little guy here is called Luna. It's a sleeping night oil, and this stuff is fantastic. That's what's in this little bottle here, Luna. I got this from a company that sent out a sample to me. So give it a try, see what you think, but I really love it. I think it helped a lot with all my little wrinkles around my lips and up on the top, my little 11s up here. Two lines right here for having 2 kids. Thank God I didn't have more. I have more lines there, but everybody calls them their 11s. But this mask is great. I got this from my mom and my sister. It's a coconut wash off mask. You leave it on for approximately 15 minutes, and I'm going to put that on now. So I just wanted to show you what it looked like. And then this is one other thing that I found that I just love too. This is an organic body polish, and this stuff is really great stuff too. This, I don't remember where I got this one, but it's www.trilliumherbal.com. So and I'll put all this in the chat on the replay. So all these products, because they're all really great. And I'm really picky, and I'm really careful what I have a very sensitive skin, being a redhead. So I'm very careful what I put on my skin. All these things are natural. They don't have a lot of chemicals or additives or any of that, or I wouldn't be sharing them with you. So I'll put my mask on. Emma D, welcome to the chat. And I didn't want to interrupt the great conversation that Amber and Maria were having. Read. But Emma says, I had no idea it was 2011 for Ellen. Lord, I'm afraid if I showed y'all what I'm doing, you might call the fire department. So she sent me a picture of what she's doing, and it's a Dermalure, it says on here, TCA 25%, and it comes in these little blue bottles. I would have to drop the deck down, but I will put it in the deck so that it's there in case anybody ever wants to take a peek at the deck. I will put it in there, my dear. So yeah, I don't know about this, Emma. I'm a little worried. You said I must have taken spa night a bit too serious. My face is burning. You better head to the information on the back, the warning label. And please, Emma, tell us that you haven't burned your skin. Oh my God.
That's why I had to just go away, Emma. I had to go get a rag. I'm like, okay, it's time for this to come off now.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we're going to be doing another episode on Ellen Greenberg, and the hearing is coming up on the 20th of January. We'll live stream that day for sure. They're going to be making a determination if they're going to be overruling and investigating it as a murder investigation, a homicide, which it most certainly should be. So we'll definitely have one more episode before the 20th about Ellen, and then we'll definitely be 20 or 21. I'll let you all know when I make announcements, like I always do. So read. I use a lot of the Ordinary products. I really like them. Yeah, a lot of the Ordinary products are great too. As long as you're careful that there's not a lot of chemical additives, and make sure
I have a beard.
Whenever you put anything on your skin, it's soaking into your bloodstream. So make sure you research what you're putting on your skin, because it's not always good. Hair shampoos too, ladies, and conditioners. Guys, use hair shampoos. Make sure you're checking out what the ingredients are. Now, Amber, your face looks very happy and very healthy.
Well, thank you.
So I'll be coming back to you in 2 seconds. So
am I glowing?
Yes, you are glowing. You look fantastic. Look at Amber. She's got her mask off. Now I have to put mine on. So I haven't done it in a long time. So Shauna, same judge. This same judge. I don't know. I'm not sure. I forgot who the judge is. I have to go look it up. It's on my Twitter, because I put up where to send letters. If you want to send letters to the judge, it's on my Twitter, and I'll repost it again tomorrow. If you want to hurry up and send letters to the judge, begging and pleading with him to look at the evidence. Because
she did not stab herself over 20 times and unalive herself, where some of them were inflicted post-mortem. So I'm not sure how she did that. Like, came back from, the grave to stab herself in the back of the head. I don't know.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. It's absurd.
Emma says, oh hell, here I come with the chemicals. Are you coming on stage with us, Emma? Because we really want to see what's going on. I DM'd you the link to come on stage with us so you can show us what you're doing. So let's see, for Ellen, the one who asked about why this was classified classified as an unaliving. So what happened is that when it first happened, when the fiance found her, called 911. We played the 911 call on our Ellen Greenberg part 1, and that's in the library if you're interested in checking that out on replay. But we will play it again when we do Ellen
Is it
Greenberg.
just me or I can't hear any sound?
Uh-oh.
We can hear you. Can you hear us? We
Can't
can hear
hear us?
you.
We can hear you.
Huh. Make sure you didn't mute it. Make sure you didn't hit the button.
We can hear you, Maria. Read. We can hear you. Yeah. So what happened is what we'll wait for. She might have to pop out and come back in. What happened is he made that 1-on-1 call, very suspect, right out of the gate. It was just a suspect that immediately like raised the hairs on the back of your neck if you listen to it, and all of the other evidence. What happened is it was ruled a homicide, and then there were these meetings that supposedly were secret. And 2 days later, the ME reversed the decision and ruled it an unaliving. And that sent obviously shockwaves through the inner core of the community that were friends with her and people that worked with her at her school and her parents and her family. And
Yeah.
so that started this whole chain reaction of her family, her parents spending countless hours fighting for Ellen. And
And his fiance's family had a lot of power and control. The
Yes.
uncle was like a Supreme Court judge in the state of Pennsylvania, something like that, a big judge.
Right.
Bigger than Bev, and they just have a lot of power, money, control, and it's clear that there's corruption going on, that somebody was protected and she did not hurt herself in any way. So we're fighting for justice for Ellen.
Yeah, the majority of everybody that's followed Ellen Greenberg's case does not believe there's any way that she could have stabbed herself 20 times and unalived herself. There's just no way that happened. So we're just going to pray and hope that the judge sees through all of this and that he rules. And I'll put the date up again on my Twitter X tomorrow. And here's Marie. Let me see if I can get her back in the stage. Here we go. One of them I'm going to have to boot. Now I don't know.
Now I
Did you
can
put the
hear
right
you.
one?
I couldn't hear you.
Okay, good. You can hear us now?
Yes,
Great.
I can hear you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Julie, craziest person on earth. Thanks for telling her to reboot. That's whenever things go awry, that's the best thing you can do. Okay. I'm going to put on this coconut mask now, ladies. It's a wash off mask. So I'll have to depart in about 10 minutes. And so whenever the directions say leave it on 15, I leave it on 10 because I have very sensitive skin and it'll start to feel kind of like it's burning me at like the 10-minute mark. And sometimes I get carried away and I'm on Twitter X or I'm doing something and I forget to set my alarm. So you have to make very sure you're awful careful when you use any kind of products like this on your face because your face is super sensitive. But these masks are like the best thing you can do for yourself because they literally exfoliate, take off all the dead skin cells. They kind of refreshen your skin, give that little extra derma layer under your skin a boost. So you're supposed to do I'm trying to use, I should get the mirror. You're supposed to do a mask like once every 2 weeks. So, because you don't want to do them too often, because then you're kind of
it'll irritate your skin.
It'll irritate your skin. So you got to be careful with that, and always read all the directions, the manufacturer directions. But I did a mud mask a couple months ago now, and that one was really good. I got that at I think Bed Bath and Beyond. So these are awesome. They're really good for you. And guys, you should totally do them too, because your skin needs help as well. Not just ladies need to do these facials and these masks. We guys need to do it as well. Now what I do with my towel? There we go.
I love this one. I have this face mask. This is the one I used earlier.
Oh.
Generation Clay. It's ultraviolet brightening purple clay mask.
Shauna says she has a drawer full of different ones. Yeah. So that's a clay mask. I think those are good too. I like clay masks. This one's a coconut one. It goes on really smooth and soft. Okay, Zeus, I hear you. That's my grandpuppy. Sorry,
Zeus
guys.
wants to be pampered too. Zeus
wants to be pampered.
Get some love.
Yeah, you can't be leaving TCA too long. I know nothing about TCA, Emma D, so you should really come up on this platform and tell us about it. Because
you don't have to use your camera if you don't want to. We can hear
you can just come up with your voice. You don't have to be on camera. It's all good. We just want to hear you tell us about what this is you got going on here. The package peels. Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh, I've used those before, and you have to be really careful with that because
yeah.
you can
Those are
end up, if you have sensitive skin, you can burn your skin. I've
Did you
used them
ever
before.
do you ever see people that are doing those almost like the Biore strips, but it's like a charcoal one, and they peel it off and literally can peel off like part of your skin if you're, it's just so powerful to get
Yes.
the junk out of your pores. I'm like, I don't think I want
yeah.
to
That's
do
creepy.
that.
Yeah, I mean that if you have sensitive skin, you don't want to be doing that because you're going to end up, I mean, I know I'm like you. I'm kind of strawberry blonde, so for me, my skin, I have a lot of freckles and my skin's very fair, and if
Yeah,
I put something on it that irritates it, I
right.
will look like I have a sunburn. And
Yep.
I don't want
I
it.
I'm
But
extremely
that's
pale too.
that's the Scottish and Irish in me. So
Okay, so OMG, Emma D says I'll be there in 5 to share some laughs. Great, perfect. Okay, let me
Join the
see
party, Emily.
let me see what I've got. Oh, I know, I've got something for Amber. Hang on a second.
What? What?
See if I can get it to go.
Am I gonna like it?
hey, so when you do this again, the next time you do this, I will plan ahead for myself. My daughter, who's autistic, is so girly. She loves
Oh,
makeup
that'd be
and
great. Is it
facials and
working,
stuff.
Amber?
So we'll do it next time together.
Okay. Amber, is it working?
No, no, it's not working.
Not working? Okay, let me try again.
She had it before we tested it. Yeah, no, absolutely bring her. It'll be so much fun. We have to take care of ourselves. Like in the last live stream that you did, Kat, you were telling people about scheduling time for yourself and self-care and how important it is. And it's especially for us women, it's hard for us to do.
Very hard.
And
When you're
yeah,
when you're used to being a caregiver, a
right.
caretaker, and especially raising children, you get lost in all of that, or
Yes.
taking care of people. You get lost in all of that, and you forget. If you don't give yourself self love and energy, you're not able to give it back to other people, and that's what I've learned. Over the
That's what my
years.
mom always says. She's like, you're not
Hmm.
any good to anybody if you can't, if you're not good. Like, how can you be there for
Absolutely.
somebody else if you're not okay?
And it doesn't
Um,
it doesn't mean being selfish. It means, you have to give yourself some self-love to make yourself be in a place where you have the energy to give the people around you, the
right.
what you want to give them. Because if you're depleted, it's like a battery. If the battery is depleted, it doesn't work.
One of the we were talking about drinking water as being one of these pro tips,
Hmm.
but you're talking about energy and stuff like that. And I got this one from Jennifer Lopez, where her biggest beauty secret is getting 8 hours of sleep every night. And I'm like, that is a luxury and that is fabulous, but it does. It makes a huge difference in
It
everything you
does.
do, like a good
It
night's sleep.
does. It's hard sometimes to get get that amount of sleep, but and then I find days where I don't get that, and then I have to catch up, and I'm tired.
Right.
Maybe take a nap, but I will say that if I feel depleted, I know enough to stop and kind of give myself whatever I need. Maybe it's a walk, maybe it's some
Right.
time to just read a book. Maybe it's
Read, read,
time
read.
to, read. Maybe it's just time to do a little self care. But whatever it is, it re energizes the battery. And that's
Yeah.
important, you know?
You have to do that and you have to have your cup full, to some extent. And
So
when
we
it goes
have
too low, you got to fill it back up.
sorry, Amber, we have a new joiner here and I have to go watch my mask off. So who is with us? Oh, Emma D. Emma D's here.
Hi,
Can you
Emma
guys hear
D.
me?
Hi,
Yes, we
Emma.
can.
All right. This was easy. I've never joined anyone else's call like on a platform like this, only Teams and Zooms.
Oh, we're
Oh,
so happy that
cool.
it worked out. We're glad to have you. Welcome to Social Change Warriors. I've loved interacting with you in the chats of different content creators, and thank you for being live with us so many times in the last couple months. We really appreciate your support.
I love being with you guys. I enjoy the laughs.
Oh, thank you so
I
much.
love looking at your posts, Emma. They're great.
They said at work today that I would do anything for a laugh. I
Miss
said, I
Emma
guess
D,
you're right.
where are you from? Because we got the
Uh,
Boston
no,
accent with Marie.
yeah, North Alabama, Muscle Shoals. Have you guys heard of
Wow.
that?
No, but Alabama, I
Okay.
heard the Southern accent. I love it.
Yeah, I think we've even got a documentary on Prime or Netflix one, and I think it's called Muscle Shoals, and it talks
Oh.
about the music up here and things I didn't even know about a place where I grew up for, first half of my life. So if you
That's
get a chance,
cool.
check it out.
Emma,
Absolutely.
are you getting any bad weather down there right now? I know there were some storms going through different areas.
Um, for us, I mean, if we see snow or hear it's coming, I don't understand the explanation for why everybody raids the grocery stores of milk and bread. I don't know what they're going to do with all that milk and bread. But it will shut our town down, literally. I mean,
Did
because no, we're not
did you
equipped for it.
did you get snow?
It allegedly is on its way.
Oh, okay. So I live in New Hampshire. Like I'm originally, obviously, I'm from
Yeah.
Mass, outside of Boston, but I live in southern New Hampshire, and it's interesting because I find it almost comical that you're getting snow, and we're up here in the Northeast, and we've not had a flake
Mhm.
fall. So we typically get the cold and the snow, and in down south, you guys are getting like hit with things that aren't typical.
Mhm. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're tornadoes here where I live primarily. I'm like right, probably less than 30 miles from the Tennessee state line on the Tennessee River.
Hmm.
So it is definitely northwest Alabama. And the last radar I saw looked like even the snow was going to skip North Alabama and go through central and southern Alabama, which is totally unheard of. So we'll see. It's supposed to be coming.
The weather is so odd. When I moved here to Wisconsin, right outside of Madison, it's so funny how like cultures are different. So even though we got snow in Pennsylvania, if it was 4 inches of snow, right, we'd have at least a delay so they could get the
Mhm.
roads clear. Come to Madison and it's like 5 inches of snow, and I'm like, okay, there's gonna be a delay, and I'm like ready to sleep in. No, nope, the bus is coming right down the road, and they're not even plowed yet.
Yeah, life
Um,
keeps going. And like Boston, I thought that they were equipped to life goes on, and but people like here, we what is it called, black ice? Is it called that
Yeah,
everywhere?
Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Black ice is so
That's
dangerous.
that's scary. That's
Yeah.
very scary if you're not, used to having that type of freezing. That's a
Mhm.
very scary thing. Even up in the Northeast. I mean, I a couple weeks ago was going over to. I live about 10 minutes from my grandkids, and I was going over to watch them, and it was cold, and I started sliding all over the road, and I'm like, and you can't even see it.
and you
So I
can't
can't
Mhm.
stop
imagine.
yourself either,
Well, no, but living where I live, you're used to navigating that stuff. But if you're not used to that, that's very scary.
Yeah, and you get a
Yeah.
bunch of drunk rednecks and hillbillies on it, and it's even worse.
Well, yeah, I would guess.
All the bubbas want to get out and act like they're, tough in their four by fours, and that's what causes all the accidents and fatalities, quite
That's what
honestly.
my sister-in-law says from Georgia. She's like, "Oh man, they don't
Yep.
know how to drive in it."
No, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I work remotely from home, so I'm, now fortunate.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm an RN, so I spent years,
Oh yeah.
working. You don't get a snow day. It just doesn't happen. Like
Right.
when it's snowing or there's a blizzard, and I've driven. Oh
Same
my
with
gosh.
Madison. There's very few snow days ever. Like it would have to like
Hmm.
snow 12 inches before they close the schools.
But
Exactly,
they
Mhm.
but
know.
they closed for football practice when it was 89 degrees. I was like, "Wait, what?"
Well,
Everybody was so
although Although I would say that I think that's a good thing because there are so many. I mean, my boys both played football, and back when they played football, they would never like they'd be in the worst heat, like 90-degree weather out playing football, and as a mother, you worry about those things, and then
Yeah.
you hear about these kids that get like heat prostration, and
Right.
so that can be as bad as cold weather.
Yeah.
I was
True.
looking at I follow this young man who's just about finished with meteorology school. I don't know if anyone is familiar. I follow him. His name is Max
Oh,
Velocity.
yeah.
Do you
I
follow him?
I
follow
I
him.
Yeah,
watched him today.
he's so good,
He's
right?
awesome. Yeah.
So I've been following him for some time, and he covers like tornadoes, and he covers storms and all of
Yeah.
that. And one of the things he was on Today Live this morning because of the snow, and there was like I'm gonna say it was Missouri or Kansas. I no Missouri. There was like a backup on the highway, and people had been stuck there for like 4 or 5 hours with no ability to move. And I'm like, my God. I mean, I've been in not I've not got stuck in those situations, but I know they occur.
It's
Oh,
So
scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
it's
dangerous.
scary.
I mean, people have died because they decided they would go to work and not listen to the meteorologist's warnings, and they have been trapped out on, between their home and where they were trying to go, and nobody could get to them, and they froze. I mean, it's
Mhm.
scary. Like
Yeah.
people have to
Listen,
really.
I was born in 62, so I was 16 during the blizzard of 78 up in Boston.
Oh, I
And
remember
that,
that. Yeah, yeah.
right? And the highways, that's what happened. People got stuck on the highways for days.
That blizzard affected the whole like Midwest all the way out
Mhm.
to you guys in Boston.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
huge.
I mean, I remember, the only way to get my mother was also a nurse, and I remember like, being in the medical profession, you don't get a snow day. So you have to figure out a way to get to work, and
Yeah.
my mother was stuck at the hospital for 3 days working.
Shauna's mad at us, Emma D and Marie and Amber. We're getting her all riled up, and she's trying to be calm with her vitamin C mask on. We're supposed to be talking
Oh,
about
I'm sorry.
calm
I'm
things,
sorry.
just like a bunch of women, right? We go off on a tangent on these scary,
Oh gosh.
fearful subjects.
Is
Yeah.
that scary? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
I
all
didn't
good.
mean to.
I'm just messing with you. It's all good. The weather was a huge topic today. Everybody was talking about it. My mom and I love
Mhm.
watching the Weather Channel, so we were all paying attention to what was going on
Yeah.
north of me because I just got
Well, I would say to anyone that is interested in the weather, like watch Max Velocity. That young man is
he is.
so
He's
good.
so great. It's
He's
Max
Mhm.
so good.
Velocity. I'll type
I'll
his
have
name
to
in the
check that
chat
out.
box.
Yeah, put that in the chat.
He
And
he
there's
has
a
Yeah.
he has a YouTube channel. He has a X channel. He also no, I watch him on YouTube and X.
Yeah. That's
what
and
where
he
about
I've
Ryan?
caught up with him too. So yeah, he's great. He's really, really great. So if you love weather and paying attention to what's going on in weather, he's fantastic.
and he has a new kitty. He has a new kitty named Cheese Curd, which is
Oh,
Cheese
so
curd.
that's
sweet. Yeah.
so anyway, guys, I wanted to, I did a little fun little research for our spa night, and I looked up like the top 10 famous movies for girls to watch if they're having like a slumber party together or spa night. So I was just wanting to ask all of you, tell me what you think they are in the chat box. I'm giving you a free one here because of course Grease, this,
Oh, I
this
know.
slumber party
I
scene
know.
where they're all dancing to Sandra D. Look at me, I'm Sandra D. That is one of the most iconic scenes of any movie. So I'll give you that one, but just type in the chat box what you think some of your favorite all-time like slumber party, spa night, girls' night movies might be. And then I'll put the list up on my Twitter X in the morning, so you can all go click on the link and check it out. I already made a post yesterday, so it is actually already up there somewhere with the actual link where you can go and read the top 10 movies. But I was just curious what you all thought. Oh yeah, and Medee, Stealing Magnolias. Yeah, I don't know if that made the top 10. I'd have to pull the link up. I could probably pull the link up too. Let me see if I can I don't think I can open this on here, can I? Never lets
I'm
me.
listening, by the way, guys. I'm giving myself a pedicure as we're talking. That's why I keep looking down.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic. So let me see if I can. I'm going to see if it'll let me play it. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find it.
I'm taking advantage of this opportunity.
Me too. Me too.
Right?
I
I'm gonna
never
take care
get
of
alone
myself.
time.
Oh,
I want
this.
to cut my hair, but I'm a little scared.
Oh
I'm gonna-
yeah, I've got the color out too. I was going to try
What
that.
are you going to do to your hair on live TV? I mean, on live stream. What are you doing to your hair?
Oh, I was just going to try to color it and save $115. And I have a friend that let me in the wholesale place, so I got real, not
Good
box
stuff.
dye, but
You guys, I'm going to try an experiment. I can't play the whole thing. I'll have to stop it and we'll have to talk a minute, and then I can play it again and we'll have to stop it and talk about it. But tell me if you see this tab come up on our channel.
I see the picture.
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, let me know if you can hear it.
This is one of my favorite movies. Is it playing yet?
I don't see or hear anything now. Well, I mean, I can see the picture, but I don't see it actually playing.
Can you
That's
hear
all I
anything?
see.
Is
Oh,
it not
man.
working?
I see
No.
a little red button like play down there by my face.
I wonder why it's not letting me do it. It's not letting me for some reason, because I shared it before. Let me try a different tactic here.
I can almost hear the music they're playing during that too. I watched that movie
Why are we
100
looking
times.
at butts?
Yeah, that's when when they're shaking. So
Baby got
you
back.
can see what I'm doing, but you can't hear it, right?
Julie says, "Oh boy, Amber's going to cut her hair."
So you guys can
Kamo's waxed
see it,
his
but you
chest on
can't hear it,
YouTube.
right?
We
Auntie
see
Deb's
butts
going to be
now.
permed. Are we running a salon?
So
That's so
it's
fun.
not.
I really do. It's too long, and this little part needs like a little like a trim, like that it's a little shorter here, and then kind of like feathers down. You know what I'm talking about? I just don't know if I can do it.
Have
You're
you
gonna do it.
guys
You want to do
found?
it yourself? You don't want to go into like supercuts or.
I'd rather do it myself than that.
You don't have trust in me? I don't have trust in you, but
So you're trying to give yourself bangs?
not
No, or like
bangs, but just
not
like a
bangs,
little.
but kind of like a what do they call that again? It's like a little shelf almost, a curtain.
Curtain
Like I'm
bang.
trying to give
You
myself a
trying to give
little
yourself a
curtain because
curtain?
it's too like long and like I don't know. They're too short.
I love it. Julie, oh boy, Amber's going to cut her hair. Come on, wax your chest on YouTube.
I
Auntie
love
Deb's
it.
going to get permed. Are you guys running salon-inspired content throughout the community?
I'm gonna do it. That's the theme of
Julie,
this
I love
month.
it.
Dun,
No,
dun,
so
dun.
let me explain to you guys how this happened while Amber's attempting to give herself a fringe.
A fringe. That's it.
Colleen, yeah, a fringe and a curtain. Those are the two. But so Colleen O'Neill, Colleen the Real Deal, who is an advocate in your community, those of you that live in Canton and the Stoughton area and in that whole area of Massachusetts. I don't know all of your little individual town names, but she has been doing a lot of advocating. So she joined us for our first show of the new year, Be Your Own Best Friend. If you didn't get a chance to be there with us live or replay, check it out. She did a great job telling us about what her and her current boyfriend partner have been advocating about in the area. And so we were on Twitter X yesterday, and there were some people coming for her, and they were coming hard. They
Oh
were
yeah.
Aw.
really nasty things about her. And so let me share a little bit of that with you. Even that's not spa-like, but our comments are actually, it turned out what Reality Check, Annette, who would have been on live with us tonight, but she's not feeling well. So she's in the chat. Sorry, Annette, that you
Feel
missed it.
better.
We're going to do this once a month. So you're going to have to be on with us next time. It started out where I defended Colleen. They said, so first of all, I just said, thank you so much for being with us on Be Your Own Best Friend on January the 2nd, and how much we appreciated her coming live with us and telling us about her activism. And Nicole came live to tell us about how she got involved with Justice for Ellen Greenberg, and Michelle was with us talking about her sister. We've been living
great.
about where is Sarah Ebersol. So we had a really great panel, and they each took a turn to tell us about the person they're standing for and how important it is to be your own best friend first so that you can stand for others. So that's why we decided in part to do the spa night, because we have to continue to care for ourselves and take care of ourselves before we can stand for and take care of others. And so I was thinking, Colleen, I was the one that made the post. She came back and said, and I'm going to find it because I want you to see, and Marie, read. This is exactly what we were talking about earlier, how quick someone can totally trash your day, rain on your parade, and just get in your face when I made a very simple small post thanking someone that came on my live show on Social Change Warriors, and this person like hijacked it and turned it into their platform to rip on Colleen and say really nasty, mean things.
Well, they didn't really though, because we took it right back. We we pushed those hijackers down and grabbed the
so
flame.
I wish Reality Check was here because she started the love bomb, is what she called it, and loving.
No, don't say the B
you
word.
can't say that word, right? We'll get struck. Loving on them. So Reality Check just started the love boom. Reality Check just started basically saying, why are well, I think I tweeted back before you and Reality Check realized what was going on, and I just said, why are you so angry? Why are you mad at Colleen when she's trying to fight corruption in her community? What is your problem? Like, why don't you tell us what is wrong instead of just calling names and putting her down? Why don't you explain to us what you don't agree with? Let's talk like adults here. So that was my little tweet back to this person. And then they came back with more nasty, very nasty verbiage, calling us names. And then Reality Check came on and started loving on them.
Love booming.
Are you having a bad day? Do you need a hug? And trying to just turn it around.
Would you like to come to spa day with us?
Right. So I wrote to them that I wanted to send the wife. We think it's a husband and wife team, but we really don't know because they're anonymous. So I wrote to them and said, you really need to go to a spa. The best thing you could do for yourself if you're this angry and this mad at the world and your fellow Cantonites is take yourself to a spa, decompress, get off of social media. That's what I recommended she or he do. Well, of course, that didn't go over well. And he came back with something really snarky to me. I don't recall what it was. And then he was right back ripping on Colleen again and her business.
And just really vile, misogynistic type things to say. And we're really not sure if it's a man or a woman or
a couple.
Tag teaming,
And what do you think it was somebody that knew her personally or just randomly?
No, these are people she thinks that live in the area. She thinks it's a couple that are friends with the Alberts and the McCabe's.
Okay, so somebody just taking a jerk opportunity behind their keyboard, of course.
Oh yeah, they can't say it. They can't say it to your face.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened. So yeah, there was just a lot of nasty things said. Well, then, like I said, Reality Check, Annette started loving on them, and then we all started loving on them and saying, "Come on, tell us your side of the story," and this is our side of the story, and they were having any of that. They just kept being more and more negative. So then one of us started using memes. I don't know who started it. It was me and Reality Check. So we started just memeing them. Instead of using our words, we used pictures. So then they got upset with that. And then they blocked us all. And they actually said that they were fed up and sick of our memes. So we were blocked for overuse of memes. That's
so
what
if you want to get rid of a troll, just use a lot of memes that love boom them. And they go poof, they're gone.
Yeah. Yes, it was definitely taking cheap shots and liberties on. And the very first thing I said was, "Why are you on my post? This is my post thanking someone for coming on our live show, and you're hijacking our post to rip on this person. That's not cool, dude." So yeah, we wanted to be there for her and defend her because it was out of control. It wasn't cool. And so that's how the spa night actually then really took wind. And we thought, we need a spa night. We need just a night where we hang out, talk a little bit about our cases, what's coming up, what are we going to do next, support each other, try a few mass products, whatever fun thing you're doing for yourself tonight while you're listening and chatting with us. And that's how we decided to do it. So we're going to do this once a month. We're going to do spa night once a month and have a little bit of chat about our cases, a little bit of chat about what you guys are up to, sharing how you self-care and how you take care of yourself, because it's really super, super important that you do that. So I'm just going to pop this back up really fast. Let me see, where was I?
You know that guy what's his name? The Brad Mundo or something. He's totally gonna pull me up, be like, "Girl, using like dollar store scissors on your hair."
He'll get you.
I know.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy about this.
It's getting better. It's just gonna take. I'm going slow because I don't want to like chop off too much.
So you're just
Have,
doing a little tiny bit at a time, it looks like.
Yeah.
have you
You're
guys
very brave.
discovered? I don't know if I'm muted.
Oh,
Am I?
yes. Oh, yes. Can you post StreamYard link again? Yes, I can.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Sorry. I couldn't find where the mute
Actually,
button was.
Marie, can you send me a DM on X and I can send it to you right there? That'll be a lot faster than trying to put it in this chat for you, I think, and you trying to
Oh,
copy
do you want me
it
to
out
put
of
it
the file.
on? I can do it. I can do it real quick.
Yeah, if you can, but if you want to just send me a DM on Twitter X, my DMs are open and I can send it to you right through there very easily. Shauna says, seriously, rather get punched. We wonder why people, especially young people, hurt. Yeah, it's a real online bullying thing is very real and it's scary and it does lead to unaliving. I mean, it's just horrific. A friend of mine one of her very dear oldest friends, I believe it was, I don't know if it was their child or their niece or nephew. I don't recall now, but there was bullying going on, online bullying, and they actually unalived themselves. I mean, it was horrific, like a 13-year-old or maybe even younger. Actually, I think it was younger. Just heartbreaking. Like, this is just heartbreaking, but bullying can affect people in very, very, some people can just water off a duck's back, as they say, and they can just keep on walking and they don't let it bother them. Maybe it bothers them a little bit, but then they get over it. And then some people, no, it goes right into the whole mental health component.
They take it real.
Yeah. It's just so terrible. And I mean, it's just wrong.
Okay, can I tell a quick story?
Yeah, of course.
So taking accountability and things like that, it's really important. But you guys may have heard me on a stream before when I was crazy mad at TB for coming down on regular people and the boots on the ground. And so one of the things I said that was snarky was I called Turtle Boy's girlfriend, Meredith, Princess Turtle, and was using it in a very snarky manner for a while. And I feel kind of really bad about doing that. Her and I talked offline, back and forth, and I apologized for it because she's her own person and she hadn't done anything to me. So for me to have said that about her wasn't very nice. And she was gracious, completely accepted it. And it was on Christmas because I was like, I'm feeling the Christmas spirit. I don't want to be, at odds with people or be somebody think that I'm being mean. I just thought I was being funny and snarky. But sometimes, it hurts. And then I go online and I see some awful things that people are saying about her, like not calling her Turtle Princess, like that's really not a big deal, but calling her the most vile names. And I'm like, I am so sorry I contributed in any way to that.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what somebody's going through. You don't know the 10 posts before that somebody said to them.
Right.
I mean, it's inappropriate. She is very quiet. She doesn't say anything. Now, because she's a partner with TB, that does not make her complicit to the things that he says or does. She is a separate person. So
Absolutely.
personally, I've never held her like accountable for things that he said. I have held him accountable and I've called him out on things that I thought were inappropriate. I don't think using certain language to address women, certain things like "see you next Tuesday," even OJO's mother is not right. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't agree with that.
And
We've said that before too.
hopefully he
However,
has phoned that down.
what I will tell you is that when I called him out on that, now I never had an issue with her. I never called her out on anything. She blocked me. So I'm not quite sure. Like, I don't really care, but I think that, if she can't separate herself from him, then for me, I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's her issue. I don't care one way or another. I
Mhm.
do have a problem with him. I don't follow him. I don't watch him. I learned I did a while ago, but I
Mhm.
learned a while back that he definitely I could not condone the things that he
No.
says and does. Okay? So for me, I will not just kowtow to people because they have the same ideology regarding Karen Reed. I give him props for bringing light to this and bringing
Right.
light to some of the other stuff, but I can't agree with that type of behavior and language. I think it's wrong. I have
Right.
kids, I have sons. My sons would never use that language. I raised them not to use that language. Now, I'm not saying that has anything to do with the way he was raised. I'm just saying
No,
I, I,
it doesn't
I think he
necessarily.
does it. I think he wants to be like almost Howard Stern, like it's a
That's
shock jock
what
thing.
I was going to say, if I
Mhm.
could add in that
Yes.
Yeah.
I have I have probably made excuses for him more than
Same.
my southern
Same.
moral compass allows, because I think he is a growing person. He makes mistakes, but he's his own worst enemy in a way, because he
Yes.
has a gift and talent
Yes.
Mhm.
and could have even taken this opportunity where he's gotten so much of a voice to have really grown with it, had the See You Next Tuesday stayed out of it, and I want to see everybody succeed, and
Yeah.
including him, because I think we'll all admit that he's got a very humorous and likable side
Yes.
as
Right.
well. But then a switch flips in him, and that's where I can't tell if it's real or he's kidding sometimes.
No, I personally think that it's his own issue that he has uh, issues that causes him to flip that switch. Now,
I
I don't
agree.
know, and I'm not I'm
It's
not
your
judging it,
opinion.
but
It's always good. So, ladies,
it's
when it's
opinion,
always good to
opinion,
say that first, right? Whenever you're on a live stream and you're talking live,
Oh
always
always
yeah.
opinion.
it's my opinion. It protects
It's
you.
it's my
Yeah.
opinion. What I will say is that I think that unfortunately for me, well, not unfortunately, I have a certain moral compass
Mhm.
that I believe in, and I will always stand up for that moral compass
Mhm.
because I believe that having raised children, and my children are now raising children, that
Right.
there needs to be a moral compass that goes on. And
He
that does
needs to
not,
think about his children as
well,
well. He's a
you know,
father.
I'm gonna
and
step in here for just a second. Julie, crazy person, or disclaimer opinions. Thank you, both of you. I love
Yes, opinions.
I love it that you went there. I mean, you're brave because to go there to have an opinion about a content creator that is as popular and has as many subs as Aiden does, Turtle Boy, and is can be scary territory. Okay, because
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's all
just so you know,
done in a good way.
it shouldn't be though. In my mind, in my own mind, in my opinion, if you have a moral compass, then you believe what you believe, and you shouldn't ever fear saying what your
Exactly.
morality is and worrying about. So I will say to you, I will just say this. I several months ago asked respectfully, please, could you reconsider using words like that? Because not because it offended me, but because I felt that for a lot of women that have been through DV, it triggered
Mm-hmm.
them.
Yep.
Okay, it was
Mhm.
a trigger, and I was trying to just say, could you please just think about those types of things triggering, people
Exactly.
You
based
were
on
giving
that.
constructive criticism. You were
But
telling him something you thought would help him. It wasn't to
the
hurt him.
Because
response I
you like him.
But I did at the time. But the response
Mhm.
I got from him, I'm going to tell you straight up what the response was. I got a response from him. You probably don't even know who your father is.
Ew.
CUNT. That's what he said to me. And at that
Ew.
point, at that point, first of all, I do know who my father is. He was a good man.
Yeah,
But
that makes
the
more
fact that
sense.
I got a response when I was trying to be respectful and asking a question,
Right.
please think about this. That told me something about his character that I then realized I could not be okay with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
That
you
was,
have every right. That's the thing about social media right now, right?
and that's when I
And
got blocked by,
America.
Right.
and that's when
People
I, and
aren't
that's when
allowed.
I, and that's when I got blocked by Meredith. So
Mhm.
for me, I'm
Because
like,
I think, I honestly feel, this
mm,
is how I feel.
Okay,
He
hang on a
thinks,
second, Amber. I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I need to talk for 5 seconds.
yes,
So
ma'am.
I've let all
Please.
three of you talk. I have to talk for 5 seconds because this is my channel. So I have to protect
yeah,
the channel,
of
right?
course.
So I have to say that I have decided not to disparage the other content creators in any way right now because Amber and I decided to do that in a constructive criticism way back in November, and we were hammered. We were
Yeah.
called
My
every name.
apologies.
Yeah, no. You ladies are fine. I just want to let you know I experienced this in November and I was called lots of names. I was DM'd, I was PM'd on Facebook because I dared
Oh
have an
Lord.
opinion about the Glare and about
Hmm,
Mazza
yeah.
and about I had an opinion about, I called them the Good Old Boys Club. Now, I know that probably wasn't a good idea, but I was having one of my days where I was feeling like women just were not being respected in the movement. And I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
liking the feelings I was having and the things I was hearing and seeing. And it felt really like I just felt that day that Karen Reed and John O'Keefe were being taken advantage of. And that
Mhm.
people are
Right.
just jumping to try to cover them at any cost. It's like the trial's been over. We're waiting for the second trial. This is a lull. Why don't you find someone else to stand for? There's other
We
victims
have
out
plenty
there.
of people that you
There's
talk
so
about
many
every
people
You
that
day.
are in
are
trouble.
you're 100% correct.
Right.
Okay. And that's my point.
So, but that's what happened is that I decided to go there. And I don't, in hindsight, I don't know that I should have because
I think you should have.
yes and no, but
Maybe our approach could have been different.
it might have been none of my business. Okay. Sometimes things, it's just like when people talk bad about you, what people say about you behind your back is none of your business. I love that saying. It's a great saying. So maybe it was none of my business because if people want to find a case that's either a murder case or a missing persons case or whatever the case may be, and they decide they want to live stream about it and cover it, that's them. That's their thing. If they're doing it morally correctly, if they're doing it because it's their job now, I have nothing against that. I mean, if that's your job now and you need to make money, as long as you cover the case respectfully and morally and you're covering all aspects of it, and then that's that.
But that's the point. Respectfully and morally. When you have people that bring disrespect and things that aren't listen, I will talk to, I don't care what anyone's opinion is regarding specifically the Karen Reed case.
Right.
You could be anti Karen Reed, you could be pro, I don't care. I will always have a respectful conversation with you, and
Right.
that's what
Right.
should always occur.
Right.
But when you have what happens is you get people that really get like go off the rails
Yeah.
because again, they're keyboard warriors, right?
But I think
And
I
they
came to a conclusion that I came to a point where I realized I can only control what I do and I can't always control what other people do.
Right.
And although we were trying to help and give some constructive criticism and improve the movement and make it better,
Mhm.
ultimately it wasn't taken that way. They weren't ready to receive that.
Right.
And if it's something that we don't like, we got to stop watching it if we don't
But
like it.
see,
If it's right,
you guys have a YouTube channel, and I respect and appreciate the fact that you have to take different, like almost baby steps with what
Yeah.
you're doing. I have
right,
no desire to do that, and that's
right,
I have opinions about things, so I go on to
right.
X or I go on and
Yes.
I express that, and I
First
don't have a
Amendment. You have
problem.
every right to do that. That's
I
your right.
do. I
Yes.
do.
Yes.
So for me, I go on there and I say what I have to say, and people may not like it, and I get attacked. Believe me, I get
Oh,
attacked. I
I've
get
seen
I've
blocked,
seen
you.
it.
I've seen you get attacked. I've defended you several times.
and I appreciate that.
So I have
But
a
I won't.
question. This is a question for all of you and those of you that are still with us in chat. We're going a little longer than I anticipated. I thought
We're
we'd be
going
jumping
rogue.
on, but I'm happy. I'm so glad you two came on and you were willing to talk
Thank
with us.
you.
it's so great to have you both on the platform and to actually get to
Yeah.
talk to two people I've been interacting with on the
Me too.
on the Twitter X. But so I have a question that I wanted to ask you about the movement, basically, right? So
Mhm.
my concern right now is that because there was this lull time, this is just my concern from my social work experience, is that I'm very concerned about this addiction level that I feel many people are on right now with the trial, because there's a lull right now. We're in between trials, and I understand there's been updates and there's been hearings, but I don't think it necessarily warrants live streaming as much as it has been happening and repeating the same old thing and repeating the trial numerous times and going over the testimonies numerous times. And it's like, give it a rest for a few months, maybe go continue to support in whatever way you can. But are we going overboard? Are the content creators going overboard with the constant talking about it? Like, it's daily.
Well, can I just say something? My issue is that not that they're talking about it if that's what they want to talk about or if there's something coming up, but sometimes it seems like what drives their motivation is what brings in the most views, the clicks, the numbers, the money, and then I get like it feels icky. It feels like what you said about John and Karen, like it was almost being used.
That's exactly true. I believe. I think that you have content creators who might be local to the area that really kind of focus on that case and cases local to the area. But
Yeah.
you also have content creators on YouTube like the other. I love watching Melanie Little. I love
She's great
Mhm.
too.
watching. She's great. I love watching Emily Baker.
Yes.
Um, they cover all sorts of types
Yeah.
of things, but then you have these other content creators that I think just get caught up in this loop of
Drama.
clicks and drama and
Drama.
all of that,
Mhm.
and it's unfortunate, but
Some
that's
of
what
them even write
happens.
songs about stabbing people. Just saying.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Wait,
I
wait.
will tell
Sorry.
you,
Backtrack.
and I don't know if anyone's seen my post, but I do have a problem with the people that are kind of that are international and kind of get involved in the whole thing, like for clicks and views and money, because I
Mhm.
think that there's, isn't I'm not trying to be mean, but my God, you live in another country. Is there not crime in your country that you
Is there
could
not
cover?
corruption there too?
Corruption, right?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
Yeah.
why are you jumping on the bandwagon here and then getting offended when people say, "Why are you doing that?" Don't get offended.
Yeah.
Don't especially when you have to be up overnight to do a live. My
Mhm.
God,
Yeah.
I think it's important that people cover things. They should. People should give us information. That's why I love Melanie Little. I love listening to Mark Bettero.
Mhm.
I
And
think he's
Melanie
so.
doesn't allow a lot of the see
No,
you next Tuesday language on her
Gotta
channel,
stay
and
no,
classy.
No.
she
it's
is
a
Classy
so
cupcakes.
respectful.
And
She is
again,
so.
remember that Aiden has every right to do whatever he wants on
He
his,
does.
yes.
He
unless
does.
unless
And
it's unless YouTube says no, you can't do that, or
Mhm.
and they strike him, or
he does.
StreamYard.
No, he does.
StreamYard. But he has every right. And if you don't want to watch it, you don't watch it. I totally
Exactly.
Absolutely.
understand his attitude on that.
Absolutely.
And
But
the
And
thing
for the
that
record, I am a follower of Aiden's. He has I don't know him, but 99% of the time I enjoy. But again, I'm a person that wants to see people succeed, and I sit back and I look at things and I see talent,
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, you just don't realize. It's almost like being a little older than him, perhaps.
yeah, yeah.
You know, you can see things that maybe they can't see, but it's not
Well,
my place.
oh,
He's
for
not
sure. We
asking for
all look at
my
how much we've
opinion.
all learned and grown since we were in our 30s and early 40s. For those of us that are older
Absolutely.
in this chat, I mean, I'm 61, about to be 62, and I wish
oh,
I could,
I'm
go back.
62. I'm going to be 63, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Well,
and
I'll tell you guys, I'll share with you that I did try. I actually respect the journalism side of Aiden,
I do.
because my undergrad's in journalism, so I respect every single thing he's done as an investigative
I
journalist.
agree.
Stellar. It's been more than anyone else would have done. I don't believe it was just for the money. I actually believe he wanted to make a difference and he wanted to be a true investigative journalist. I have no doubt about that. So,
Well,
And he
so
writes very well.
he was also a teacher, and I
yes,
think that
yes,
that's part of his background. But
yes.
I think unfortunately,
Well,
and
I just
again,
wanted
it's
to
my
close out.
opinion.
Let me close this out really quick and then I'll let you go. I
Sure.
just want to close out my thought because I will forget it because it's getting late.
Of
Time in
course.
my brain still has a bad knee and COVID. So I will totally forget what I was trying to say. I respect his journalism, and I told him that. I've written to him several times. But when he got angry with me was when I went for some constructive criticism because I am older than he is. I did work in the field of journalism. I was also a cop, so I was trying to give him some constructive criticism, and that did not go over. It went over like a lead balloon. That's the one thing. If we can teach anybody that's younger than us, that's not our age now, that's in their 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, is accept constructive criticism. It's not always easy to take. Sometimes people aren't very good at giving you constructive criticism. They come across a little too edgy or a little too hard. They might not mean to, but it might feel like that. But you still have to just take a breath and be like, okay, they're trying to give me constructive criticism. What can I do with that? How can I learn from that? I can push back a little if I don't agree with it, but there must be something to it. If 4 or 5 people are saying the same thing, then there must be something to it. So let me sit with that a while. Let me think about it. So those were the things I shared with him. And at the end of the day, we actually had a pretty decent little exchange. And
He likes you. He doesn't like me.
Doesn't like me either. And I've tried to be really respectful with him, but for me, I tried to give him the constructive criticism as well in a respectful way, and the response I got was, and again, as an RN, and you're a social worker, so you understand. I've dealt with a lot of different types of personality things and stuff like that. He does not seem to grasp that part of it. Like it's his way or the highway,
Right.
unfortunately.
Many
And that's
people are like
okay.
that, though, my dear. They don't want a constructive criticism. They want to do it their way, the highway. That's it. I was married to someone like that, and there's plenty of people in the world like
Me
that.
too. Me too. I get it.
There's plenty
I was
of people
divorced.
in the world like that, sweethearts, and that's why
Yeah.
you have to. Sometimes you have to cut bait, right? You can't always teach somebody something. They have to figure it out for themselves. They have to learn the hard way. So sometimes you just have to say, "I'm done with this channel," I'm done with that relationship. I have to cut bait because they're never going to see it my way. They're not going to.
Well, that's the point. Unfortunately, they're not going to most of the time. You hope they get to that point, but many people don't. And then so what you have to do is cut bait. But with that said, people like that, when they are on social media and they, do that, behave in a certain way,
right?
People need to be able to not be fearful to step up and say, that's not okay. You can't talk to people that way.
Can I jut in for 2 seconds?
Amber, you can, but let me just do one quick thing. I want to read Julie's comment to you guys, and then Amber, you can go because I've had it up here forever. But when there's 4 women talking, it's like the freaking View, and it's really hard.
I know. I didn't realize that.
I love that. I love that.
I went to the View live, ladies. I was there when I lived in LA for grad school. A friend of mine got us tickets. It was so crazy, though. I left there with the worst massive headache. I was like, I just wanted to scream, "Shut up!"
Tell us we're giving you a headache without telling us we're giving you a headache.
No, you're not. You guys are not. But I'm telling you, the View is banana boats in person. It is insane. It's way worse in person because they're right there. We were in the front row.
Oh, wow.
Thank
That would be
God
so
they
cool.
brought the music element on at some point and shortened the show up a little bit because we were there to see the music part of it. So mostly. Anyway, I want to tell you what Julie said. Did anyone see what happened between Tom CPU and the attic guy? The attic guy, who is, all of you know who that is, right? That's
Levin.
Attic said, "Don't protest a funeral." Tom CPO got mad and threatened to drive to his house. Then Tom CPU blame Sean for what CPU did. What?
When did this happen?
Come on here with your voice only, Julie. I don't know. I am not in the loop of this. I was still
Listen, I'm in the loop of a lot of things that I don't even know what this is. I have no clue.
Okay.
It's always
think
Sean's fault. They're always blaming Sean for everything.
I
Like
think
why
what
why
happened,
do they
Again.
blame Sean? He's been so quiet and
he don't
hasn't.
even have a dog in the race.
He
No,
just
he's been very quiet.
he
Um,
has.
so
He called someone out a while ago and he's been quiet since. So
okay, so
you know.
I have to agree. I don't think a funeral is any place to protest anything.
Mm-mm.
Definitely
I don't
not.
care if the person murdered 5 people. It's just not the place. You always have to check yourself at the door with what
I
you're
don't
going to
think
do, right?
anybody was
Oh
going to.
you know what? My guess is they were talking about Berkowitz's funeral.
Yeah.
Yes, I think
That's
that
what
was
I'm
it.
thinking.
And Plevin just made that comment and thought that Tom CPU was going there because he canceled a live at 10. It just so happened to coincidentally be the time of the funeral, but I don't think Tom CPU had any intentions of going to protest at no funeral.
Listen,
But
Plevin's on his own little planet.
yes, he
Okay.
is.
So I have tried to give him grace in a lot
Me
of
too.
areas. Like the whole thing, you've seen my posts about the whole cancer thing. I, as an RN, would never, ever, if someone said they had cancer, I would tend to believe them. But
Mhm.
when I've realized how disingenuous someone is, I have to question it. And that's not out of my realm. As a nurse, I can't imagine anyone would ever make anything up. Now, I don't know what the
That
truth
happened on the
is.
Real Housewives of Orange County. That
Really?
the one lady was dating this guy named Brooks, and
Oh.
he apparently even created documents that were not
But
accurate,
but
saying
Oh
fake
my
fake cancer
what would
gosh.
reports.
drive someone psychological? See, I'm a psychologist. Like I'm back in school to get my finish my degree in master's degree in nursing, and I want to get my doctorate in psychology. I find it
Mhm.
fascinating. What drives someone to do that and be okay with that in their own
Sympathy and
head, their own
attention.
brain? Oh, but something
Yeah,
has to
no
be
idea.
off for someone to go that deep that they
Okay,
would do
we've got
that.
Crazy Julie, craziest person in America, craziest person on earth, not in America, on earth. And I'm excited to meet her because she's been in a lot of our lives. Her Twitter X, her comments in lives are fantastic. So let's bring up Julie, craziest person on earth.
Oh,
Hello.
hi,
Hello.
welcome.
Hey, everybody, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
we can,
Yes.
Julie.
Awesome.
Welcome, Social Change Warriors. We're so happy to have you on the platform.
Hey, ladies.
So what is
Hey.
going on? Enlighten us.
Oh, Jesus Christ, these people, my God. So,
Please tell us.
yeah, it was right around the New Year's Eve stream that the Glare did with a whole bunch of other people, and he took his shirt off, which, I mean, he said a lot of not great things about Sean and everybody, but I watched him take his shirt off over and over again, but that's beside the point.
Oh, I love it.
So they were talking about the guy from Canton, is it Berkowitz,
Mhm.
who
Yeah.
passed
The
away?
chief that passed,
Um,
yeah.
and they were talking about like, oh, we should go. He shouldn't have this. He should, not rest in peace. Like not like great stuff,
Not
but
literally
That's
going,
not
but
right,
okay.
yeah. So I don't think that they mentioned going to protest, but they were talking about the funeral. So the guy in
Okay.
the attic, what's his name? Plevin? Is that
yeah,
it?
Plevin. That sounds
Okay,
Kevin
good.
Kevin
yeah.
Lanahan.
Lanahan or
Yeah.
Okay, all right, yeah. So the guy in the
And I
attic,
hate
what
even
is it?
saying that because I have a kid named Kevin. I hate it. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
Right.
That's hopefully he doesn't live in an attic, so that's
No, he doesn't. He
Yeah,
doesn't.
don't
I
let
can
him live
okay.
in
promise
That's
your
you.
good.
attic, please.
That strides. So the guy, I guess he did an emergency stream where he was appealing to Karen Reed and David Yannetti, and I mean David's an absolute saint. And he was saying, listen, you want to go with Turtle, you want to go with Alan Jackson, you want to do the Hollywood thing, and PR and all that stuff, fine. But listen, David, you're a decent person. Tell these people don't protest because they're going to make a scene. CPU is a piece of garbage. He called them names. So Tom's CPU was in the chat saying, "Hey, let me on, let me on, let me on, let me talk about this." And he wouldn't. And he's saying like, "No, don't protest the funeral. Let this man, rest. Let this man be sent off. Whatever he did, let him be sent off." So Tom CPU, for God knows whatever reason, and this bothers me too, he decided to go live on his channel and say, "Hey, guess what? I guess we're going to Andover," because that's where he is. He's like, "I guess we're going to Andover," and he showed himself getting out of his house, walking down. He's like, we're going to go drive to Andover. We're going to go drive to Andover. I don't know where he is, but we're going to drive to Andover. And I just saw like 5 minutes of the stream, but I guess he cut it off. And that started a whole brouhaha. I guess the guy Plevin was still online. It was like, people are saying that he's coming here. Well, I guess we'll see. And that started a whole shit show. So the next day, Tom CPU and I think it's Boston Mike had a stream, and they said, we got to show you what happened. I'm going to show you what happened. I'm going to show you what happened. Tom CPU said, I'm going to show you what happened. And played, the stream, and played the like 3 minutes of him going out saying, we're going to do this. And he said, I went to go get cigarettes. I wasn't actually going. But you know why Plevin did all of this? It's our friend in Florida on the Gulf, because our friend in Florida has an agenda, and he talked to Kate, who talks to Attic Guy. And that's why all this happened. It's like, really? You don't have any friggin' accountability yourself? You walked with your own friggin' leg. I'm trying not to swear. I'm sorry. You walked with your own friggin' leg yourself, and you're blaming poor Sean for this? Like, I knew this was going to happen. Like, Turtle got arrested. It's all Sean's fault. Like,
just
no.
pot stir going on.
What
Pot
the
Jesus
hell
stirring.
did
Christ.
Sean have to do with it?
Exactly.
I think
He had
they have some
nothing
personal
nothing
issues
to
going
do
Oh
with
on.
my
it.
He had
God.
nothing to do with it.
So, but the bottom line, do I understand correctly though, is that this was really mostly Plevin's imagination, taking it serious that someone was literally going to the dude's funeral to protest when they had no intentions. They were just doing their sick joking about it.
Yeah. So, So, I mean, I think what So I think what happened is a whole bunch of people started talking, and they said, you know what, just as a precaution, let's make a statement. And a lot of these people are drama queens, and they're like, let's, stoke the flame and let me come up on my pedestal and let me be the, honorable person here. And I mean, it could have been a threat. It could not have been a threat, but all that didn't need to happen. Unnecessary. And this is, okay, fine. He said he was going to go get cigarettes and, possibly drive to his house. How do we know that the next time that there isn't like a protest where this is some crazy person doesn't show up and, drive through something or, come make a violent scene, somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
You know what?
About Tom,
I think Tom
Time out, ladies.
CPU.
I'm going to do something that's going to help us because this is really interesting that this happened. There's a lot to talk about. Let's go around the room. You're each going to get 3 minutes. Okay.
I'll go mute. Y'all go.
Awesome.
So Amber, I want to ask you, you were going to say something, but I wanted to get Julie's statement up there so we could talk about it before we get over time, because we are going to have to go soon. But can you remember what it was she wanted to tell us?
I actually do, believe it or not. And there's
Good.
two things and then I had
Good.
a question for everybody. The
Good.
first thing I wanted to say is, so we were talking about, holding people accountable or giving them critiques and not feeling afraid to be able to say that and how important that is. And I know sometimes you have to think about the person's in like their shoes and how they're taking it. I try my best to sometimes. And I know there was something that Nurse Kim had posted, but she at the same time called out a viewer, because like she couldn't help them, but she didn't do it on purpose. Like it wasn't to hurt anybody, but the way it was done, it kind of put that person on blast. And so then everybody thinks they're defending Nurse Kim and they're going after this person. And then I'm just like, hey, like can we just talk, give the PSA, say what you want to say, but like let's not attack the people. Like, why are we attacking people? I don't like that whole movement. And she actually took it pretty well. Like, she was at first, she was just like, I don't think you understand. And I'm like, we had a miscommunication, because I'm like, I don't think you understand. And so the point is I wanted to say that I liked that. I liked that I could say what I needed to say, explain what I needed to explain. We could have differences of opinion and have a discourse. And I commended her. I said, like, this is exactly what this movement needs, is when we can have conversations like this. But saying that, I've also seen people go at her and say vile things about her on X. So she's probably being extra sensitive because everybody's attacking her. So I'm trying to balance and understand how other people are feeling or how they're interpreting it or taking it. But the question I wanted to ask everybody, because you brought up Tom CPU, I was actually watching Tom and Boston Mike today, and I don't watch him that often, but I did. And he said something about he lost his $100,000 pension. Can anybody give me the info? I'm just curious. What is that about? Like they took it away. I think he's fighting for it to get it back.
So I think I know where this comes from. This comes from Kate. Kate had on this on her site, and it wasn't great as well. It doesn't look good for Tom CPU because he said some not great things about Kate's kids, and that's the issue that they have with Tom CPU.
Okay.
I don't know how true it is, but
This is hard to
that's
keep up.
kind of
I
where
was
that comes
just
from.
curious, like who took it away, why, when, like that's kind of, I was like, is it because he's voicing his opinion on the Karen Reed trial? Or are they trying to mess with him? Like
Well,
I
I
just
don't
didn't know if it
even
was
know
related or
who he
not.
worked for to take his pension.
I think he was a police officer, right?
I think he was at one point, but it doesn't make sense. I don't know.
Well, maybe invite him on, Kat, and we could ask him.
I'd love to talk to him. I really would. And
That's
I'd
the
love to
only
say
way to get the truth.
that's a good point.
Yeah, I've reached out to him. I don't have his like a way to reach out to him, but I've like put comments on his Twitter X, and I've actually invited him to come on the show. So
I like
maybe
him.
we will. I know Boston Mike and I go back and forth on Twitter a lot, and I invited him to come tonight and sent him a picture of a man with cucumbers over his eyes. So we were joking. I don't know if he showed up and he was here listening to us and just spying on us and didn't say hi in the chat, but Boston Mike, you owe me a live. If you're listening. Amber, I did not know about any of that. So maybe we'll have to dig into that a little bit, see if we can find out if he'd be willing to come and talk to us and tell us.
Yeah, I didn't know about it either.
Sounds pretty traumatic and not good.
Maybe he needs some help.
Yeah, I think so.
And you're right, it does get to you, like being in this trial for so long and this whole case. It's just
Yeah.
like we're going stir crazy on it at the moment, and we're eating
Right.
our own. And I just I don't want to contribute to that anymore. I want to make sure that going forward, it's all positivity and love.
Right.
And anything that we do is caring. And if somebody comes at us, we just pray for them.
Yep. Well, thank you, Amber. I'm glad you brought that up, and we'll definitely have to note that and look into it. I wanted to give you each just a chance to go around and just say your thoughts about this whole, like, maybe sort of pretending to be going to the funeral but not going. I'm not a fan of that either. I think it should have just been all left alone. Whatever Berkowitz did, he did, and if we're gonna find out he did it, we're gonna find out, and he's somewhere. If he's in heaven or hell, it's not our job to make that decision. And if he was involved in any of the cover-ups or any of the other cases, Sandra Birchmore or Just en Route or any of the other nonsense going on with the pedophile ring in Stoughton, I'm praying and hoping it'll all come out in the wash, but he is gone now. So he will not pay for his crimes or his sins. So leave his family be. It's a funeral. If it does come out and it's proven that he participated in this cover up and that he was in on framing Karen, it'll come out and then his name will be sullied. But right now there's no proof of that. There's no way to know. And his family deserves to bury their loved one in peace. And that's how I feel about it. So even joking or making it out like you're going to go to the funeral is not a good look if that's what was going on. I don't know anything about this, so I'm taking out of my arse right now. I'm just saying no protests at a funeral ever. I don't care how evil or horrible the person was. And until it's proven that they did what we think they did, we don't know, because everyone is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Except Karen Reed.
Well, true and not true, because we all think she's innocent. So she is still innocent until proven guilty. Only there's plenty of people out there that want to convict people every day. You could watch a trial every day, and there'll be people trying to convict someone who may or may not have done it.
I mean, I personally, I think if someone passes away and they're moved on, they're gonna have to meet their maker, and that's a whole thing that none of us have a right to impede on. We don't have a right to impede on the family. We don't have a right to impede on a funeral. That's a line that no one should
all
cross.
agree on that for sure. Absolutely.
I think even Turtle Boy said that.
Yeah, he did. He actually made a post about it. Aiden made a post about that there will be, he doesn't condone that there's doesn't condone any turtle riders going to any protesting at a funeral. It's not acceptable ever to protest at a funeral. it'll all come out. If that person did something heinous and they never got caught, then it'll come out. If it comes out later, some people's crimes never come out. They live,
right.
they
I
breathe,
mean,
they commit crimes, and then they die, and never.
people go to the grave with things all the
Yes,
time.
yes,
No, it's
yes.
unfortunate, but
Hi, Donna Edwards.
so
Don't know
who's
exactly
next?
on live. I'm just looking here. We have a Donna Edwards. Welcome to the live chat. Welcome to Social Change Warriors. She wrote. Oh, Amber asked what time is Boston Mike? What time does Boston Mike get up in the morning?
Because she said he goes to bed at 7
Boston
p.m.
Mike, you owe us alive too. So we got to get. Oh, and Sean couldn't make it. There was some type of a little bit of an emergency with the health of his mother-in-law. So I told him we would pray for him and his mother-in-law, and he said he owes us alive as well. So we got a whole bunch of live stacking up here, guys. We got John. John was in the chat tonight. So John, you owe us alive. Boston Mike, Tom CPU, Sean. We got all kinds of boys, guys, dudes from the movement that owe us a live stream.
Don't forget DJ. We're gonna.
I'd love a quick little follow up on everything Amber said, if that's okay.
Go ahead. Go right ahead.
So as far as Tom CPU, I give him props. He's out there like a warrior every day with his camera, at the courthouse, at the hearings. You have to give him props for that. Okay.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
And he has his lives that he does, different like coffee time things. And sometimes I watch them with him and Boston Mike. And, I'm sure tomorrow he's going to be streaming because we have, the expert who they're trying to say is not an expert, Dr. Marie Russell, testifying in the second part of the voir dire. Now they're trying to get a voir dire on Green, but we'll see. Nevertheless, I think that you have to give Tom the props because he's there day in and day out.
In the cold, in the snow,
In the cold,
matter.
in the
rain.
snow, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
And he stays outside of the courtroom when even during the first trial, he was outside with all the people that were there to support. And I'm sure that's what his plan is to do again. So I give him props for that. With that said, and this is just a little thing that I'm a little annoyed about with him. When I criticized TB, he blocked me. So he's blocked me. I've asked him to unblock me, but whatever. It just,
Listen,
he didn't
it can happen. Jen Altman unblocked me.
She has me blocked too, but didn't like what I had to say and apparently blocked me. With that said, I give him full props for what he does because I think he really, he's someone that is there all the time and people should appreciate and respect that. Okay.
You give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely.
It's sad to me. It's sad to me, my dear, that you've been blocked by him because, again, you have the right to have an opinion. It's okay to offer constructive criticism to live streamers. Since when is it not okay to offer, especially someone you actually like to watch and you're getting something out of it and you enjoy their content? But then
I was actually paying for a membership and then I canceled it once he blocked me. I'm like, I'm not paying to, whatever.
When you're watching someone's live stream, and most of the time you appreciate their content, you like their content, and then maybe one day, maybe they're either having a bad day or maybe you hadn't seen this side of that particular person before, and you're kind of like taken aback and you say, let me sit with this a minute. Okay, I'm going to offer some constructive criticism. And then that person just comes back negative and hard and nasty at you. That's not a good feel, right?
No, it's not a good feel.
Don't necessarily want to be on that anymore.
I'm not blocked by Boston Mike, and I asked him to ask Tom CPU to unblock me. Hasn't happened yet, but we'll see. Nevertheless, I don't hold, like, I get things get emotional and people do things when they feel people say things they don't like or whatever. I get that. So I don't hold it to that thing. What I would like to say though about the whole upcoming trial, I think, like, obviously, there's been some posts today, and I think I pushed back a little bit on them about, uh, I think it was Missy, who is a Karen Reed, and I get that. That's her opinion, but she was posting about the data coming back and on the chip off and all that stuff, and no one knows what the facts is related to that. But what I
Right.
would say, in my opinion, if that came back in the Commonwealth's favor, there would be no need for them to post the motions that they posted to try to discredit the defense witnesses, the expert witnesses. If they were so confident in the guilt based on that, then they wouldn't have to do that. So that was just one of the points I wanted to make. I
Yeah, I
think
think they're
that
just going to do whatever. They're throwing everything to drain
no,
her
it's spaghetti.
pocketbooks.
It's spaghetti
Right.
against the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if they were, if the information came back, the data came back showing that Karen Reed did what she did, then there would be no need for them to be continually filing motions to discredit
Mhm.
obvious expert witnesses. My God, like, are seriously, you're going to try to discredit Dr. Marie Russell and Green, and then you have Trooper Paul?
And then just wait
I
until
mean,
they try to do ARCA. I'm sure
now,
that's
now,
next.
you know what? I want to say this. I just want to say this and be clear. Trooper Paul, I almost feel bad for him because I think he was put in a position and forced to do something in his job that he was not qualified to do,
I was just
Right.
going to say that was going to be my comment, that when you put a
right?
person in a position of something that's over their head, which I'm going to tell you guys, and I would love to know what Sean thinks about this or any other former law enforcement officers. I think it was purposeful and calculated what they did.
Well, whether it was or it wasn't,
It
they didn't
absolutely
have.
was. Trust me, it was.
Oh, no, it probably was, but they also did not have. I mean, if they had adequate people to do the accident reconstruction, then and they used him, then yeah, it was purposeful because they didn't want. They knew if they used someone that was able to do an actual accident reconstruction, it wouldn't have given them the outcome they wanted.
Well, they gave
Um,
him the outcome and told him to make the pieces fit to get to that
right.
outcome. It
So
wasn't that, he followed the evidence.
right. So that brings me to the whole situation in Canton with this whole, you know, Rich Schiffer, the Duckgate, all this
Hey,
stuff
let
going
me
on,
come.
right?
Let's circle back to that because I want to go backwards
Okay.
for a second because I'm trying to keep up with the chat too, guys. So I
I'm
have a
listening.
little
I'll be right
job
Okay.
here.
back.
I have to
I'm not,
manage everything. So,
no, it's
Emma
okay.
D,
I'm not looking at the chat, so
yes,
that's
I
fine.
have to because that's part of my job as the
Yeah.
host. So, Emma D. So I'm wondering, should we always keep mum and bite our tongue?
No.
Yes, that's exactly right. We can't because we wouldn't be on this platform if we were the type of people that didn't want to get involved.
Well, that's the
Didn't
whole
want
thing about social justice,
social
right?
justice, right? So social change warriors, the reason this channel even is here is because I want the communities, I want people in their communities, people like you and me and everyone that lives in our communities to be willing to see something, say something, because who else is going to do it if it's not us in our communities?
Mm-hmm.
Who else
Mm-hmm.
is going to stand up to corruption? The corrupt aren't going to stand, they're not going to suddenly say, oh, I shouldn't be corrupt anymore. I'm bad. Bad me. I got to stop this. I got to quit being corrupt. No, because they're
But
having
see,
way too much fun
that's the
and they're getting too
that's the
powerful.
point. That's the point. We have to have each other's back. And when we stand up against something, we have to come out and have each other's back. We can't be left hanging in the wind alone. If you feel strongly about something, you have to stand up for someone that's also speaking their truth. If you believe it's for social justice or because something is not right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So great comment, Emma D. Appreciate that. And it's so
Mhm.
true. You have to be
Yep.
willing to speak up and say something when something is not wrong is wrong. Crime is not that complicated. It's either a crime or it's not. You either murdered somebody or you didn't. So, there's no gray zone. You either committed a crime and broke the law, either murdered somebody and broke the law. You either lied, and in your lying, you broke the law. You committed perjury. It's very cut and dry, right? So, perfect. Well, I am just going to thank everybody who came live tonight in the chat. I appreciated all of you so much.
Can I just say one more quick thing? What I want to say is that it's very difficult to push back when you have people coming at you.
Right.
But understand that from a morality standpoint, from a value standpoint, that sometimes you need to do that to wrong or right or wrong, I should say. You need to do that. And it's if you have to just take that stance. And when you know that you have a group of people behind you that will support you, then you need to be able to feel comfortable enough to do that and not be afraid.
Right. Absolutely. Great comment. Thank you so much. Well, I really feel like you ladies were just huge contributors tonight. I thank all of you that were brave enough, because it's not easy to come on a live stream. Even if you come with just your voice and not your video, it's still not that easy, because everything you're talking on the fly. We're all talking about different subjects as they come up in the chat. People ask questions. This spa night took a whole turn to the Karen Read trial. I wasn't expecting
It always does. It always comes back to Karen
It always
Read.
circles back. So my proposal is, to those of you that hung with us all night, there's been approximately between 12 and 20 of you constantly in and out of the live. I have not literally done a live stream yet on the trial. Like I said, I wanted to wait until I established my channel. I had other cases that I had been following: Ellen Greenberg, Sandra Birchmore, Suzanne Morphew. I always like to say their names. And now we have Where is Sarah Ebersol? We're following that case with her
We need your help.
So we need your help to help. So if you could come to those lives when we're talking about Sarah Ebersol and the evidence, and help us try to figure out where she is and who could have taken her or hit her. We're getting some feedback. I'm going to mute you, Marie. There we go. So I'm going to do my closing now. And I'm just going to say again, thank you to everybody who came tonight. Thank you to all of you in the live. Thank you, Amber, for all of your amazing testimonies tonight and your chatting. And I do want to do a live about the Karen Read trial. I have things that I would like to say. I feel I've been living now since August. So hopefully, I'm sure there'll be haters that'll still say that I'm trying to somehow boost my channel off of Karen Read and John O'Keefe. But I will ask you to please go to my Twitter. I started tweeting about this trial out of the gate back in March. I've tweeted almost every day about Karen and John. My little tagline is Free Karen Read, for justice for John O'Keefe, because one is not going to happen without the other. You will never get justice for John O'Keefe if you convict Karen Read, because she most certainly did not hit John with her car. There's no way that happened. The evidence doesn't support it. There is so much going on with the poor police investigation. And I will tell you, I don't believe it was a poor police investigation. I believe they were told to purposely make it a poor police investigation. There is no way all those things just happened. That's like Keystone Cops. That's like something in a Laurel and Hardy movie or the Three Stooges. There's no way all that happened accidentally. That was all orchestrated by the powers that be the night before. It was all set into motion to frame Karen and have a massive cover up. And I know you anti-Karen readers, if you watch this, and some of you tweet with me and we go back and forth, I know you're going to come at me tomorrow for saying this, because you honestly don't get this. But trust me, there was so much manipulation of the crime scene, so many things that went on that would have never gone on by an actual police department that's trained and sends their officers to a police academy. So there are officers who are probably hurting in the Canton Police Department and the Massachusetts State Police Department who were forced to participate in this and maybe didn't want to. It's all going to come out. You will see that it's all going to come out. And I don't know if we're ever going to find out who actually put the blow on John O'Keefe and caused his head injury and caused him to go into convulsion and vomit and throw up and pass out. I don't know that, because they compromised the crime scene. They covered it up. They did a massive cover up, guys. Sometimes people get away with murder. I hate to tell you this because it hurts my heart, but it's the truth. So it's possible that whoever killed John O'Keefe will get away with it. But hopefully the jury of the second trial, or possibly before the second trial, there will be something that will at least exonerate Karen. Don't know if it'll give us the actual person who laid the blow, or two people at a time that laid the blow. Hard to say if it was a fight, if it was a group fight, or what it was. But John O'Keefe was not hit by a car. That's just that. Okay. It's just that. And I'm not the only one who feels that way. 85% of America watched the trial. So I will live on this now. I've been a channel long enough that I can state my opinion on this case. I've talked about it in almost every live. It comes up every time I'm on a live because most of you all follow it. So we will have a night where we talk about it. And that you, for those of you that want to come up on the platform again and say your talk, that'll be great. If you want to do another view, I'll try to handle it the best I can. Never, ever take offense if I have to cut you off though, or I have to switch and just put up a slide for what I have to do next, because I try to do these timely. I try to stay under an hour and a half for my own neck injury and my own health. Sometimes we go 2 hours, sometimes we go 2:19:08 and counting. That's all good and cool. And I love my conversations with all of you. So if you want to come on the platform, you're always welcome. We have 10 spots now. I upped our premium StreamYard to 10 spots instead of 6. So now we can take 10 people up on the platform at a time. And so happy to have any of you that have an opinion about this case or any of the cases that we're following. Unless I have a guest and that whole episode is driven to that guest, then I won't have anyone on the platform other than Amber. But if that's not the case, if the guest is only going to be there part-time, I will always welcome you onto the platform whenever I can. So Amber, any parting words for our first ever spa night tonight and all the craziness that evolved as we tried to put our masks on?
No, I loved it. We got to do some self-care. We got to talk to really great people that had some great contributions. I think
Yes.
this is amazing. I really enjoyed talking with everybody and finding our people that we can connect with. It's a really awesome community, and
It is.
I'm excited though to talk about the Karen Reed case. I know we've all followed it, but I'm excited to go in depth a little bit more. You know me, I'm down a rabbit hole. So
Yes.
let's go. I'm
absolutely.
diving in.
All right. Sounds fantastic. So we will do another spa night. We're going to do them once a month. If you can all just DM me on Twitter X, let me, if you're not on Twitter X, I'm on Facebook. It's under my name though. It's under Catherine Page. It's not under Social Change Warriors, but otherwise you can just put a comment on the replay. What day in February would you like to do our next spa night? I can do it really anytime. Valentine's Day is my birthday. I will be turning 62, so I will not
Happy
live on that day,
birthday.
but I can live any other day in February that you would like to do a spa night. So just send me some date options if you would, for those that want to be here live with us. And then I'll try to do the majority rule for February spa night. And we will do these once a month. We'll try to keep continuing to try to add some music in at the beginning like we did without hopefully getting a strike. I'll figure out, I have some actually great music that a friend of mine is a singer in a band, and she is actually writing our theme song for Social Change Warriors that hopefully soon we'll have an intro and an outro video with her beautiful voice. Her name is Tiger. I may see if she wants to sing live next spa time for you all. And then we have Annette, our reality check, loves to sing, and she does karaoke. So we didn't get a chance. She wasn't feeling well tonight. So she was so jazzed about spa night. She thinks she has food poisoning. Reality check, we're so sorry when you watch it on replay that you're sick tonight. I know you were jazzed about this spa night, and she was instrumental in the love caring for this couple, or whoever is this anonymous nemesis that is trying to go after our dear Colleen O'Neill. And Colleen missed tonight because she had a rough day at work, and so hopefully she'll watch us on the replay. Colleen, we hope you'll be with us live next time. Just so
And
you
I
know,
can't wait to have a deep dive conversation with Colleen too. You know, I have questions.
Oh yeah, we all have a lot of questions for Colleen. She's got a lot going on, and her fight for justice in the Canton area is just huge. Emma D, I have no life and don't care if we're live or just chatting. I love to toss some Karen Reed theories around. Awesome. Well, I don't care if we're live or not either, but I think going live is good for the channel right now. And anything we have to say about Karen Reed, somebody may watch it on replay and agree or disagree, and it may start a whole new other topic. So I think for Karen Reed, we will go live. But if any of you just ever want to have like a Google chat or just a girl chat on Google or on any platform that we can just get in a group on, let me know. Just send me a DM or write a comment on one of the most recent lives where I can see it, or email me. My email is ACTTMSW. That's ACT, Master of Social Worker, @gmail.com. ACTTMSW@gmail.com. So send me an email. Becky, stop. Okay, what is that about? I got to know. Where is she? Now I lost it. Where did it go? Did you exit that, Amber?
Exit what? What did I do?
I don't know. I thought I saw. Oh, Becky, stop. So tell me, Becky, what's going on? Hi at Becky. No, Cat is Madison, Wisconsin, and Florida. Oh yeah, I live in both
No,
places.
yeah, she asked if we were from Canton. I don't know if she was talking about maybe she wasn't talking about us. Maybe she was talking about the people in the chat.
I don't know. Well, no, neither one of us is Canton. I got involved because I was following this case before I ever started living. And when I started living, I was concentrating on domestic violence victims who have no justice, and also calling out corruption. We've called out some corruption with Ed Byers in Indiana. And then we have called out the Canton corruption. But no, we do not live there. But we.
She was saying stop because somebody made her laugh. But
okay. I just wanted to make sure there was something that we said that upset her. I wanted to make sure what that was. So Waukesha, absolutely. I love Waukesha. I've been there many times. I lived in Milwaukee for 7 years when I was a kid. I'm happy to have you, Becky. Milwaukee is a wonderful city. I try to go there as often as I can when I'm back in Madison. I go back and forth all the time. My son loves to call me a snowbird, my son that lives with me here in Florida, but I'm really not. I'm a hybrid. That's what my driver's record say in the comments, that I'm a hybrid, because I have a car licensed here. I have a car licensed there. I have a address here and address there. It's a crazy way to live at times, but when you have an 82-year-old mother and a sister and a younger son that you want to see, you just do it because you're retired and you can. So I just go back and forth constantly. So every time I live, I usually tell you where I'm at. So I just got back to Florida. I'll be back in Madison, not for a while, because I just
she stole my water bottle and her mom's robe.
I took my mom's robe and Amber's water bottle home with me. So I have all the comforts of home here with me in Florida at my Florida home. So anyway, welcome, Becky. I'm glad to have you. Hope that you'll come back for future chit-chatting. And then Shauna, is that the correct email, Amber Cat? Let's see, what did I
do it right? I put I think I did it right, didn't I? ACTTMSW@gmail.com.
Yeah, ACTT.
Yep.
Yeah, it's ACT with an extra T at MSW. That just stands for my master's in social work. This is the email I started using when I was doing still doing a lot of teaching at USC, and I made a new one for Social Change Warriors, but it's just too long. So it's a lot easier to use this one. So Emma D, Miss Cat, you are welcome to share my contact if anyone wants it. Awesome. Will do. Thank you, Emma D. So happy to be part of this community with all of you. Yes, I really hope they don't get crap for let's talk about our opinions. Hey, there are opinions. We're allowed to have them. That doesn't make us bad people. We don't always have to agree. I know that I don't agree with probably half of you, maybe more than half of you politically. But you know what? I don't care, because we agree on crime and corruption and justice, and politics is a whole nother animal. And that, if you ever want to debate me on politics, let's go, bring it. But I would never disrespect you because you vote for somebody different than me. That's ridiculous. So, calling out crime and corruption is bipartisan. I've had people tell me that they unfollowed me because of who I vote for. Well, that's too bad, because I am here to protect people in my community. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you are a criminal, I want you to go to jail. If you murdered somebody, I want you to go to jail. If you lied on the stand and you perjured yourself to protect someone, I want you to go to jail. I want people to pay for their crimes. I don't care if they're a Democrat, Republican, or what independent. It does not matter. So we are grown-ups. We're not children. Children sometimes argue better than grown-ups, because children really don't argue a lot. They tend to sort things out in their own way. And grown-ups get way too caught up in their feelings, way too caught up in their emotions. And I've seen the most downright meanest, hateful, nasty behavior in this free Karen Reed, anti-Karen Reed trial than I've ever seen anywhere, ever. It's astounding to me. And I'm still kind of baffled by it, how anybody can harass and belittle and name call just because they have a different opinion. Everybody has the right to think that Karen hit John with her car. Everybody else has the right to think she didn't. And it's going to be a matter of, it's up to law enforcement, and they didn't do their job. So we don't know. We just don't really know. So it is an opinion based on the evidence, the trial, the witnesses, testimonies, which were very sketchy and suspect. And that's the thing that gets me going when I'm on Twitter and I'm having good debates with people on the anti-free Karen Reed side. Some of them block me. Some of them debate with me very fairly. I have one lady that I love talking to her. She's very fair. I'm very fair with her. And I say to her, how did you watch that trial and not think that over half of the witnesses were sketchy and lied? Because people that tell the truth don't appear sketchy. When you tell the truth, you are telling your truth. It's not sketchy. When it's sketchy, it's because
They're
there's
lying about something.
1 + 1 = 2 people. So if you go back and you're watching the trial, and we will do that a little bit in the next couple of weeks. Why not? I have time on my hands. Let's go back. Let's go back and look at Katie. Katie's testimony was over the top sketchy. That was like right at the beginning of the trial. And I was like, holy crap, what's going on with this girl? I'm like, she is lying through her teeth. And she was so rude and so disrespectful. Somebody tweeted something out today about Julie Nagel's testimony. And then I said, yeah, she was very rude and disrespectful to the attorney. And then I went, oh, wait, so was Jen McCabe, Matt McCabe, all of the Massachusetts State Police, Katie Laughlin. I mean, the amount of disrespect that was being spewed at the attorneys from the witnesses. Witnesses are supposed to be people you like and you care about because they witnessed a crime. But nobody witnessed this crime. Nobody saw Karen hit John with her car. Nobody saw crap. And that's what makes this trial so insane, is that we are calling them witnesses. They were not witnesses. They were in a house looking out the window multiple times, listening to music, coming up with these bizarre
They should have been suspects.
They should have been suspects, every last one of them.
Until they were ruled out. Every
Exactly.
single one
And
of
then
them should have been.
they're not witnesses. They can come up, they could be character witnesses for people, but they didn't witness a crime. They didn't see Karen do anything. This whole trial, and I've called it this from the beginning, is the theater of the absurd. And it will go down in history as one of the wackiest, craziest trials. And if you don't believe me, watch Auntie Deb. I love to plug him. His parody of the witnesses is beyond insane because it's true. Sometimes parody is too close to the truth, and the truth hurts sometimes, right?
I don't know. OB's giving him a run for his money with the parody.
Oh, well, yeah. OB is a comic.
Olivia Benson.
Yes, Olivia Benson is more of a comic. I would consider her more of a comic.
No, she did a parody. She did a parody of this lady that I don't even remember her name, but she thought it was Kate Peters, but it wasn't. And she has like really thick, like caterpillar, and she talks with this Boston accent. And she was talking about how she had the theory down about what Turtle Boy did and da 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 da. And you got to watch Olivia Benson's parody of her. It's hilarious.
I did not see that. I'll have to catch that on the replay.
Turtle Boy has the bones. Like he's hiding. It was a basically she incorporated it into Paw Patrol. Okay. So it was hilarious.
Well, I will have to go back on replay and check that out. Auntie Deb has me in stitches every time he lives every time. So talented. I keep waiting for him to just bust out and go big.
You've been saying that for months. Like, I
watched his very first live and I emailed him because for me, I needed comic relief because that trial got me so upset at times and so pissed off about law enforcement. And then, of course, the Sandra Birchmore finally came out, which I had actually been tweeting about that for months and months, that something's not right. There's no way she unalived herself. I think the cops are involved. I was tweeting about that forever. And so when that came out, I was like, thank God they're getting one thing right. They finally arrested somebody who did something bad while I'm watching this entire trial where nobody's getting arrested but the innocent woman. Blame it on the girl or whatever, that comment.
Pin it on the girl or something like that.
No, it wasn't pin it because that would be way too suspect, but it was something like that. The girl did it. Yeah, it was something like, there's so many terrible quotes from that trial and it's just on and on. So we will live about that very soon, and we'll probably just do a little bit once a week because we have updates on our other cases that we have to cover, but we don't need 2 whole hours for updates. Most of our other cases are unfortunately stalled right now. We're still looking for Sarah Ebersol. We're doing what we can. Susan Morphew is practically a cold case, and I am going to do at least a half an hour so you can learn about Suzanne and what happened to her in Colorado. I've mentioned it on a few of my lives. Ellen Greenberg, we're anticipating what's happening here on January 20th or 21st, so we will let you know about that live. So we may be able to do half an Ellen, half a Karen live like that. So we'll just start slowly incorporating our opinions about the trial and what's going on right now in with our lives on our other victims that we're standing for. And we'll just keep you all posted with our posts on Twitter X. So thank you everyone for coming. Ed Byers will be back next week telling us some updates on the crime that he helped uncover in Indiana. And we have a new case next Wednesday that we will be introducing you to, the wife of a man that was killed in a motorcycle accident. And she believes that it was partially the fault of the police. I don't know that much about the case. I just got all the emails recently. I'm trying to catch up. So you will literally be learning about this case with me as we talk with her and interview her. That'll be next Wednesday. And so next week is pretty full, but we will sneak in a little Karen Reed after our guest Kara leaves on Wednesday and after Ed leaves on Thursday. So we'll do a little bit of the trial both Wednesday and Thursday of next week. Thank you, everyone. You're amazing. Thank you, Replay. Thank you, everyone who's subscribed to our channel. I never thought that Social Change Warriors could make it this far. It's a tough out there. There's a lot of competition for lives, period, and especially in the true crime venue, justice seeking venue. So thank you so much for supporting the victims that we're standing for and the families that we're standing for, and for supporting me and Amber and Social Change Warriors. I appreciate you all so much. Have a great night. Looking forward to next month's spa night. Who knows what will happen with the ladies of the View. And thanks to our guys, Nick, and thanks, John and Nick, for joining us tonight.
And Papa Sean.
Yeah, Papa Sean was in and out quickly because he had something to do that was important. So, but thank you, everyone. So have a wonderful night. It's just us, Social Change Warriors. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.